Everybody hollering out they got money, they got this, they got that. But for real, man, for every nigga that got money, it's 10 niggas that's clean. You know what I'm saying? Just letting you know, man. Everybody want to talk good and rap good, man. It's rough out here, bro. Real shit, man. Words from the great one, C. Reed. Shouts to my nigga Greek, man, because it's a struggle, for real. Where the game, man. Where I come from, man. Yeah, they hit out the mud. LHP, Timber. I lost a lot of souls, a lot of niggas. Now a lot of niggas gone. To that chain gang, man. I'll tell you, man. Free my Uncle Pooh, nigga. Now there's some feelings I tried to hide because I got too much pride. But when all that pressure built up inside, it make you want to cry. Walking with his cousin right beside me, looking in his mama's eyes. Her tears running because she can't believe he keep this thing. Plus mentality too, I can't believe this happened to you. We ain't that true, cuz I couldn't imagine what you going through. Hey, rest in peace like Robin Chubb, it was my thugs too. Hey, tell some niggas you love them, you never know what they going through. And when they took CG, it's like they took Make Freezy too. And when they took Cool Kid, that shit shut us out the crew. Hey, rest in peace, right, you know the girl is missing you. Hey, Keisha Kelly too, who's your family miss kissing you? Can't get some mental, you need shit, ain't some fucking fools. We had some good times though, damn I miss my dude. I wish I could change the time back when I was in school. I would've never chose the streets, I was just so confused. It's hard times, I ain't lying, it's a struggle, man. Baby, damn, I was crazy, it's a struggle, man. These niggas in these streets blind, it's a struggle, man. Yeah, I ain't made it, but I'm trying, it's a struggle, man. It's hard times, I ain't lying, it's a struggle, man. Baby, damn, I was crazy, it's a struggle, man. These niggas in these streets blind, it's a struggle, man. Yeah, I ain't made it, but I'm trying, it's a struggle, man. Stuck in these streets with no hope, I feel like I lost all my folks. All of them sent up the road and Cooper, I miss him the most. But all the letters I sent to you, I've been to you and I meant to do. A lot of things I said I would, and I promise you that I'm fixing to. But I got a lot of shit to do. I'm praying God see it through. And when my mama look at me, she tell me all she see is you. And man, you would not believe the shit the streets was talking to me. What time the devil talk to me, and what time you quiet and walk with me. Man, I done seen it all. I done fucked with it broad. The running with the law. All the mixed with my dog. And I ain't gonna change, I'ma keep it going. I'm just staying focused. And I just realized you was closer than niggas that's bogus. Your closest homie is running lives to get a little notice. And I be with you every day, you little niggas is hopeless. You wanna see me on my dick, but you really be hoping. And I'm just looking for that X and leave that door open. It's hard times, I ain't lying. It's a struggle, man. Baby, damn, I was crazy. It's a struggle, man. These niggas in these streets blind. It's a struggle, man. Yeah, I ain't made it, but I'm trying. It's a struggle, man. It's hard times, I ain't lying. It's a struggle, man. Baby, damn, I was crazy. It's a struggle, man. These niggas in these streets blind. It's a struggle, man. Yeah, I ain't made it, but I'm trying. It's a struggle, man. Live by younger days, now used to act a dog. Running through whole things, now we don't talk at all. Jealousy is the game. In India, Bill, my uncle tried to warn me. How these niggas will switch. Yeah, I got lost in these streets. Then I got lost in this beat. Yeah, can't help what you see, but that's when I lost all my cheeks. But I got back on my feet. Lost it and did a repeat. Man, ain't no bitch in that green, and that's why I'm labeled a G. Remember teasing, man, how I taught you the game? When it came to basketball, you had to teach me things. Yeah, a few niggas done changed. Some just a distance away. Yeah, I'm still project boy, and I might get it tatted today. Bitches kept me a cold one. Never say them that bogus. Always pay when I owed it, and haters always gon' notice. My first pistol, I stole it. Got another one, sold it. Now I got a K with a hair trigger, a cutter skin, I own it. Rest in peace, Lil Tiana, free my Uncle Cooper, man. That's how we riding out like this. LHP and T, nigga. Ooh, Kimpo Jones, man. We in Brick City right now. Link at home, man. Welcome to Link at Home mixtape coming soon, man. Reed and C. Reed, man. We're gonna look up C. Reed solo zone, man. Cold one. Remember, we're gonna do this for the original Brick City, man. Shout out to the Block Star. LHP finna do it, get with the move. Shout out to Ace and Blow. Man, that nigga C. Reed, man. I know some Reed.
Mixtapes.com.
Hold on.
Straight like that. Girl, you know you did me wrong. Ran out on that Bible, left me all alone. And that hurt so bad. I ain't never felt pain like that. I ain't never been the type to get on my knees. And I ain't been starting to be gone that late. I don't need you, babe, so I gotta say it straight like that, like that, straight like that, like that, straight like that. I don't need you, babe, so I gotta say it straight like that. Man, that culture was so deep, I be stressing and can't sleep. I be dolo cooking me up, saying my blessings it can't eat. It's wild, I'm in denial, steady thinking this can't be. On my way back for crash, still thinking this ain't me. So I packed up and I moved up. Damn pieces got booed up, and I love women that love me. I'm dark skin tattooed up. We can do it up, we can go and eat. We can watch a movie, hit mule up, and that's fucked up. Cause your pen is wet. That's the same thing that I did for her. Okay. Girl, you know you did me wrong. Ran out on my power, left me all alone. That hurt so bad. I ain't never felt the pain like that. I ain't never been the type to get on my knees. And I ain't been supposed to be gone and leave. I don't need you, babe, so I gotta say it straight like that, like that,
Straight like that, like that, like that, like that.
I don't need you, babe, so I gotta say it
Boy,
straight
Chad
like
Reed.
that. If it was love, I wouldn't be there, and I wouldn't argue if I ain't killed. All these years and all these years, the way you did it don't seem real, but I got over it in due time. Do your thing and I'ma do mine. I ain't saying I won't fuck you, girl, I'm just saying I'ma be fine. Don't call my phone, I got a new line. You ain't my type, I got a new kind. All these women that so I packed up and I moved up. Damn pieces got booed up, and I love women that love me.
My fault.
Straight like that, like that, straight like
My bad.
I don't need you, babe, so I gotta say it straight like that. If it was love, I wouldn't be there, and I wouldn't argue if I ain't killed. All these years and all these years, the way you did it don't seem real, but I got over it in due time. Do your thing and I'ma do mine. I ain't saying I won't fuck you, girl, I'm just saying I'ma be fine. Don't call my phone, I got a new line. You ain't my type, I got a new kind. All these women that wanted to cheat, and I couldn't see 'cause I was too blind. The way I feel, you ain't no shit. I can forgive, but I don't forget. A bunch of heartache and pain, I pray for every nigga you with. Ooh. Girl, you know you did me wrong. Ran out on that Bible, left me all alone. That hurt so bad. I ain't never felt pain like that. I ain't never been the type to get on my knees. And I ain't gonna start to be gone and leave. I don't need you, baby, so I gotta say it straight like that. Like that, straight like that, like that,
Straight like that, like
I don't need you, baby, so I gotta say it straight like that. Time wasted, that's what I feel like I did with you. And it was so bad cause we had love and I got kids with you. Everything I did with you was lost and got fucked off. And cause you don't see me, I ain't depressed, I just be ducked off. You left me and I took off. Wall pictures got took off. My Mac feel like I'm back, and these cobwebs finna get shook off. The picture was painted perfect, but it wasn't real on the surface. And if it wasn't for both my boys, then in my mind, it just wasn't worth it. Now it's showtime and I'm searching. You know you did me wrong. Ran out on that problem, left me all alone. If that hurt so bad, I ain't never felt pain like that. I ain't never been the type to get on my knees. And I ain't never supposed to be gone and leave. I don't need you, babe, so I gotta say it straight like that. Like that, straight like that. Like that, straight like that. I don't need you, babe, so I gotta say it straight like that. Tell me, baby, do you still love me, baby, like you said you did? When you met me for the first time, you said you loved me, I'm a baby. Do you still love me, baby? When you get love, when you turn me down, do you like me? Try me for me, baby. Do you still?
John, Liz Stacy. Can't remember dude right here. Yeah. But it's Stacy and John John. John John is the one singing the hook. Oops. That's not what I wanted to do. Hold on. I'm gonna give y'all one more real quick. Let me see if I can do if I can get a video. I don't think it's a music video though. To give y'all a little piece of my background, where I come from.
Real, nigga, you know what it is, nigga. Block 40 shout,
Block 40 shout, call me. Block 40 shout, nigga. Youngest money, nigga. HP. YMCLHP, nigga.
Well, Stacy, Marcus,
we get money out here. We get money out here. We keep racks. Y'all already know it. We keep racks. Everyone's doing it. You know what I'm saying? So you already know what it is, nigga. I really want to be my nigga.
this Kenpo John right here, Greasy.
That's the only nigga ain't on the film yet. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Chad Davis, Rah, rest in peace, Rah.
Fresh hat. You just get fresh hat. Bitch ride past, some of the call toy ride past CD. I'm like, ooh, we fresh feet. I ain't even hear him though. You ain't hear that whole came roll back. Let's see what up.
What's up? Lil G, Greg. Yeah, so after this video, we'll start. I'll start the class session.
Look at that. Big Grease, that nigga on camera. That's my other big Grease, nigga. No, yeah. Big Grease, nigga with me. Just choose different spots to chill and then go there. We're gonna take y'all through the middle. Look at my little nigga bubble out here. We playing. My voice, you know, is the loud. Super strong.
Really?
What are you doing? Bullshit. my nigga for killings, nigga.
Straight, man.
You know what?
Tell me, take me out tonight, blowing my head off. Hey, this the son of the original king of the bricks. Original king of the city. This bird, hey.
This nigga in here, knock out all this nigga, he'll beat your motherfucking head. And he ain't playing with your pillow, nigga. He'll put that over your face.
We'll show y'all the real.
What up, nigga? It's GL nothing. Yeah, folks. What up? You know what I'm saying? It's my gang of hotel. What it do? Hey. My Kim folks right now. Hold on. We do get him on deck. Good boy. My nigga Wolf.
I know what it is.
Yeah. My nigga is finally home. Let's walk, nigga. Don't wait on my nigga back room. Free night, nigga. Free young man.
And we'll pop them motherfuckers too, nigga. We smoking loud and closet too, nigga. Straight out of nigga. Loud. Big City Young this morning. Hey, I'm finna get out and walk in a minute, man.
Alright, make it money.
Shout out to my nigga Young Money. Free my nigga Young Money. And I'm talking about the real Young Money, because we got fake niggas over here hollering about that Young Money. It's only one Young Money, and that's from the bricks, you dig? Still representing.
His ass.
My money cheesy.
The house that said 50A. Hey, what's up, fam? Sean G. The house that Kim Folk Joan McGreasy was rapping in front of 58. They used to be my old house. 58 Lad Drive, Lincoln Homes, Clarksville, Tennessee, USA. Lincoln Home Apartments. Lincoln Home Projects.
Me when I was young right there. I always, you know what I'm saying, my mom was there. Princess. You know what I'm saying? They come put on this bitch right here. That's my mom and my dad right there. Then you look at Jerry. Me and Mook Wayne up there. Me and Mook Wayne, Miss Young Money, I look at them deep. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, my granny over there. And we gonna see, y'all sing on, we gonna see everybody.
It's a basketball court. Oh, scoot 'em. My boys can play some basketball too, though.
Let's say the bottom boy. I fuck with the block star. That greasy, man. Them folk Jones, man. Brick City, LAC, and T, nigga. I fuck with the block star wholeheartedly. We hold it down for the hood, nigga. Stay free. Brick City, oh, fucking with spreadsheet. All my people, jeans, and everybody red. It's block star. Brick City, got the gutter. You know that was real. Block star. Straight like this. Yeah, block it. That's what it do, man. Boy, y'all just fucking about it, man. Nigga, don't get the block star. Nigga, y'all get money. Always trying to find this. Free JoJo, nigga, y'all niggas know that. Whatever y'all were, the seat lock over it, go back through. Up with the block time, man. Y'all know the block time, y'all see that right here. Great, everything. The block time, motherfucker, that y'all think, man. What's up, ladies? The boy, money. Free calls, free calls in there. I always block cards in the booth, you know what I'm saying? And get to the money, you know what I'm saying? All day, every day, you know what I'm saying? Block time, what it is, keep rapping, baby. I fuck with you. Hey, what it do? The block stars in the movie, get there. Hey, pull it and get them and dressed up and put down in this motherfucker. Brick City, get them. We come out here right on the roof. We do your bullshit. Brick City, get you on me. The glow. They got that shit out rapping this shit. Get this shit right. Killer Kane, get this from right here. Why make beat 96? Play with my mind, I'm popping, no acting, but it's moving. Got your hands on the beat. And we gonna hit it out like this. This is been harder than shit, kid. What's up, my duct tape niggas gonna go? DJ Spin, fuck nigga.
Let me stop there. I don't want to get a copyright strike for playing Cash House, this little music clip, even though it wasn't the whole video. But you know, YouTube tries to act like little bitches when it comes, even if you just pay parts of a clip. They try to act like little girls and shit and want to flag people with videos and shit. But who cares? Because if my channel gets shut down, I just create another account. Or better yet, I just leave YouTube altogether. Because there's other streaming social media accounts that I have that I can stream live feed on. So, fuck you. Anyways, let's get into this session today. Before I do, you know, some people know me as Jamaican Titan, aka Science Academy. But my name is Javon McCaddy. I come from Lincoln Home Projects, Lincoln Home Apartments, as you see here. I came from a really, really rough neighborhood that was it was a lot of murder and stuff happening over there, a lot of robberies and stuff. A long time ago, military personnel were not allowed. They were not allowed over there in any projects, whether it's Lincoln Homes, uh, Greenwood Projects, Chapel Street, or Summit Heights. They were not allowed over there. Mainly mainly Lincoln Home Projects because Lincoln Home Projects they were the worst. They had the highest crime rate. You know, the soldiers would go over there, get set up there, go to the club, meet somebody, meet a young lady that was over there or whatever, and then she would invite them to their house and sometimes set them up. You know what I'm saying? Like So yeah, I come from a really, really rough neighborhood. Um, and it's getting rougher now. A homie of mine got killed last month in broad daylight, and with a city that's barely around 200,000 people, now you get killed in broad daylight, and you know that's just how it is. That's where I come from. You know, I don't promote like flossing money and you know showing what you got or whatever. But at the same time, I'm not gonna sit here and deny where I come from. You know, I'm not gonna be like, man, I'm better than them. Cause hell, I can't. I'm trying to wake them up to our movement. Cause they wake up to our movement and realize that they're not an insignificant speck of dust on a fucking spinning beach ball. The 70% water. When they realize that, then all their gang ties and stuff will be turned to something positive. They would aim their guns at the government instead of each other. So, that's my take on that. Let's go ahead and get up into this real quick. Uh, I think we're gonna get into the laws of conservation of electric charge. Let's talk a little about electricity and lightning. Why don't we? Uh, The law of conservation of electric charge or of charge says that the net charge of isolated system will always remain constant. This means that any system that is not changing mass or energy with its surroundings will never have a total charge at two times. A different total charge at any two times. For example, if two objects in an isolated system, flat Earth, have um have a net charge of 0, the one object exchanges 1 million electrons to the other one. Uh, so, the object with the excess electrons will negatively charge, and the object with the reduced number of electrons will have a positive charge of the same magnitude. The total charge of the system is not and will never change. So that explains lightning, seeing that the ground we walk on is negative, is ground, right? The negative is always the ground. Um, and seeing that it's stronger than the electric charge in the air, could that explain why you see lightning pull down? Because the negative charge is pulling from the positive charge and pulls the lightning straight down to the ground when you see those lightning strikes. Now, if it doesn't have enough negative charge or whatever, you'll see the lightning fly through the sky, or you might see flashes or something. The lightning will kind of go through the sky. But when it's really, really strong, yeah, it pulls it down. It pulls it straight down. Let me see. What up, allergic to bullshit? Oh, no problem, Daniel Reza. Let's see. Flat Earth Unity up in here. Flat Earth Unity. What's good? Oh well. Okay. So this concept is important. This concept is important for all nuclear reactions, alpha decay, beta decay, gamma decay, etc., because it allows scientists to predict the composition of the final product in the reaction shown. So, with that said, what up, Flat Earth Unity? So, with that said, is that how they're able to predict um eclipses and stuff? It really makes you question that because they see the behavior of electricity. You know, my opinion, the sun and the moon ain't nothing but electricity anyway. Just a certain type. The sun is stronger. Actually, the moon is a stronger. It's a stronger of the two. Um, it's like they're equals, but at the same time, stronger. Reason I say the moon is the reason I say the moon is a stronger charge than the sun is because we can see the moon in the day and nighttime. We can only see the sun during the daytime. And a lot of times it's daylight and the sun don't even be out. The sun be elsewhere, you know. But that's just my opinion. Charged particles are allowed to be. You said charged particles are allowed to be created or destroyed. So how you gonna say it's a conservation where nothing can be created or destroyed, but then it's an exception for this? Charged particles are allowed to be created and destroyed as the net charge as long as the net charge before and after the creation destruction stays the same. Therefore, this must happen with oppositely charged pairs of matter and antimatter. Here's a example. This image shows the nuclear process of beta decay where a neutron decays a proton and an electron. The net charge before and after the event is the same by this law. So let's see. Let's back up some. Let's see. Let me try this one. Damn, I don't want to see this video. I actually want to read it. Okay, so I guess I gotta go to Wikipedia. The Astro Thief. What's good, Astro? Okay. In physics, charge conservation is the principle that electric charge can neither be created nor destroyed. You see that? But then when you see the other one, let me see the other one. Oh, interesting. Let's compare articles real quick. Where is it? Give me a second, fam. This ain't the one. So let's see. Here it is. Okay, so right here it says can neither be created nor destroyed. But right here, charged particles are allowed to be created or destroyed. So which one is it? It's like they can't make up their minds. I say it's this one for the simple fact all the laws of conservation remain the same. They remain constant. They basically stick to the same law. Rather, it's conservation of mass. The mass cannot be created and destroyed. Our Earth. So our Earth was not created. It was not created by the Big Bang Theory. Nor was it created by how it says it was in the Bible. Um, it won't be destroyed by asteroid, as modern scientists like to say, or whatever. Nor will it be destroyed. Nor will it be destroyed how it says it's in the Bible. Okay. The net quantity of electric charge, the amount of positive charge minus the amount of negative charge in the universe, is always conserved. Charge conservation was first proposed by British scientist William Watson in 1746 and American statesman and scientist Benjamin Franklin in 1747. Although the first convincing proof was given to Michael Faraday in 1843. But now this right here is a hoax. Who actually thought that Ben Frank? Who actually believed that Ben Frank went out there playing with lightning? You know what I'm saying? Discovered electricity. He went out there. I mean, he went out there playing with lightning. Anybody can discover something. Anybody can discover something that was already here. So you mean to tell me? So you mean to tell me that our ancestors they never seen lightning in their life? I mean, the natives, the natives that were here, all the Indians, and natives that were here before we came and took the random off their land and killed off the rest. You mean to tell me they didn't have no concept of electricity? You know, 4 or 5 centuries before or many centuries before Ben Franklin went out there and started playing with lightning to discover electricity. He was as dumb. He was a he was as dumb as Isaac Newton discovering gravity when by getting hit in the apple, by getting hit in the head with an apple. Let's continue though. Right, the blank effect. This is what it is, the blank effect. Let's see. It is now discovered and demonstrated, both here in Europe and that the electrical fire is a real element with duh. or species of matter not created by friction but collected only. Exactly. Now he got that part right. By the time he said something that wasn't a lie. Charge conservation of a physical law that states that change in the amount of electric charge in any volume of space is exactly equal to the amount of charge flowing into the volume minus the amount of charge flowing out of the volume. In essence, charge conservation is an accounting relationship between the charge of a religion and the flow in the flow of charge into and out of that region. Mathematically, we can say the law is a continually equation. I guess Q stands for quantum. You see that? It's like something so simply read, they got to put a crazy ass equation in it. Like, why? You making it? They made it harder to understand than what it really is. You know, this does not mean the individual positive negative charge cannot be created and destroyed. Electric charge is carried by subatomic particles such as electrons and protons, which can be created or destroyed. Let's see. The electric charge is carried by. Let me see let's see what subatomic particles are. Subatomic particles are particles much smaller than atoms. There are two types of subatomic particles. Elementary particles, which according to current theories are made of other particles, and composite particles. Composite. Okay. Particle physics. Particle physics and nuclear physics study these particle laws and how they interact. In Lizzie, the concept of a particle is one of several concepts inherited by classical physics, but it's also look. I don't agree with this for the simple fact. For the simple fact, electricity is electricity can't be created nor destroyed. You know what I'm saying? It's already here. And when you see electricity, it's because it's being transformed, it's being transferred from one form to the next. You know, like the electricity is being transformed, it's being transferred from the ground into our house. I mean, it can't be created nor destroyed. It's always constant. Can't create lightning. Lightning is always up there. But if the charge is small, it's not gonna abstract. You know what I'm saying? I think the moisture in the I think the moisture in the sky has a lot to do with the lightning that sometimes we see, because you know how water or anything moist enhances electricity. It makes it that much stronger. You know, that's why, like, you're not supposed to get near water anytime it's lightning or whatever, because it's gonna draw the electricity. Or don't stand under the tree because they're gonna draw the electricity. Why do trees draw the electricity? Because they're grounded. They're grounded to a beautiful flat plane. And electricity, believe it or not, electricity is the negative ground is running through those trees. So if you stand through the tree and the tree is grounded, is negatively grounded, and it's standing at, let's say 50, 60 feet tall or whatever. That's you know what I'm saying, that's a better chance for electricity to, I mean, that increases the chances for that lightning to strike that tree. You know what I mean? That's common sense. When you actually look into this stuff, all right, then natural thing. Thanks. Is there proof of Ben Franklin of Lichtenberg scarring? We can try. The fractal patterns of lightning strike scars. Being struck by lightning is a dangerous and scary experience and can even be fatal. Sometimes the electric discharge can leave. Right. Let me see. Where was I? Equal the numbers. Charge. Where was I? Okay, I think it was here. In particle physics, charge conservation means that an elementary particle reactions they create charged particles. Equal numbers of positive and negative particles are always created, keeping the net amount of charge unchanged. Similarly, when particles are destroyed, equal numbers of positive and equal number of particles and negative charges can be destroyed. Interesting. Still yet to see that happen. Also, conservation of charge requires that the total quantity of charge in the universe is constant. It leaves open the question what the quantity is, right? It leaves a lot of questions open. Let me see. So if that's the case, if that's the case, why isn't the sun at um why isn't the sun in Antarctica constant? Makes you wonder, like, they're supposed to get the 6 months of daylight or 6 months of nighttime, or whatever. Why isn't it constant like the rest of the world? Most evidence indicates that the net charge in the universe is zero. That is, there are equal quantities of positive and negative charges. The electromagnetic field theory let's see. I need to look into classic electrodynamics. Electromagnetism or classical electrodynamics is a branch of theoretical physics, basic physics based on theories that studies the interaction between two electric charges and currents. Using an extension of the classical Newtonian model, the theory provides an excellent description of electromagnetic phenomena whenever the relevant strikes. Whenever the relevant length scales and field strengths are large enough that quantum mechanical effects are negligible. For small distances and low field strengths, such interactions are better described by quantum electrodynamics. That Lichtenberg figured from one and struck by lightning. Right. I'm like, it's all bullshit. Like, The term on the left is the rate of change of the charge density P at a point. The term on the right is the divergence of the current density J at the same point. The equation equates these two factors, which says that the only way for the charge density at a point to change is for a current change to flow into or out of the point. This statement is relevant. Let's see. Yeah, this statement is relevant. This statement is equivalent to the conservation of four current. So cool. So I done introduced the class and stuff. Let me go ahead and set up the panel. Here, I'm gonna put it in the chat. Let me know if it works, fam. Thanks. There go the link. See if the link works. In the meantime, I'm going to send the link out. So just give me a moment, fam. In the meantime, while I'm sending the link out, I'll play a song for y'all. Go ahead and hit the go ahead and share the video, tweet the video, hit the thumbs up, and if any of you gamers out there, go ahead and subscribe to my gaming channel as well. I got the link in the description box.
What you see is just illusion. What you see is just illusion. What you see is just illusion. What you see is just illusion.
Take a look around you, what you see is just illusions. Everything goes in circles, but there's no revolutions. They create the problems, then they offer the solutions. We're nothing but going to them, they treat us like subhumans. Take a look around you, what you see is just illusions. Everything goes in circles, but there's no revolutions. They create the problems, then they offer the solutions. We're nothing but going to them, they treat us like subhumans.
Repeat after me, I am not free. They're lying to you, they're lying to me. What are they hiding? I'm dying to see. Why is it God that they're trying to be? The acquisition of wealth and power is what they know. They've always been among us, they own us, they run the show. When it comes to making a difference, we ain't moving. Freedom is a fallacy, you're just a free-range human. From the crib to the grave, you live as a slave, and that's just a matter of fact. If you want to see change, forget all the games, we're gonna just have to attack. This is our world and we're snatching it back. If you don't want it, move off to the side. Not for the cowardly, not for the weak, only the strong come along for the ride. Won't be so simple, I'm not gonna lie, but that doesn't mean that I'm not gonna try. With everything that they're doing to all of us, maybe tomorrow we're all gonna die. Either way, they kill us slowly, dumb us down and make us dopey. Everything you see is fake and all the news you get is phony. It's time we show the people how the elite are so deceitful. It's time we rise up high up enough to expose this evil.
Take a look around you, what you see is just illusions. Everything goes in circles, but there's no revolutions. They create the problems, then they offer the solutions. We're nothing but going to them, they treat us like subhumans. Take a look around you, what you see is just illusions. Everything goes in circles, but there's no revolutions.
TV truth of vision, the one and only. They hate the fact that I'm nosy, but I say fuck it, blow me.
I'm a researcher, a real true seeker. Of course. Give it a second, fam. Give it a second. Okay. Well, he got the biggest subscription. No. Well, next to Delano TV. I'll finish the song out and then I'll get back to it.
Everything goes in circles, but there's no revolutions. They create the problems, then they offer the solutions. We're nothing but going to what they treat us like supplements. What you see is just illusion. 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 ODB truth of vision, the one and only. They hate the fact that I'm nosy, but I say fuck it, blow me. I'm a researcher, a real truth seeker.
Science Academy is a school, nigga. I'm the
school teacher. Prepare to be blown away. Everything you know gets thrown away. Take your mind to a whole nother level, put the pedal to the metal with no delay. How much worse must it get before we do something about it? For we are many, they are few, man, we got them surrounded. It's time we think outside the cage where our brains have been placed. The true history of the world has been changed and erased. It's 1984, these things are so Orwellian. Big brother, motherfucker, super totalitarian. Your thoughts being suggested, your speech being suppressed, always being corrected, freedom being oppressed, always under surveillance, in a state of unrest. And if you protest it, they put your ass under arrest.
Take a look around you, what you see is just illusions. Everything goes in circles, but there's no revolutions. They create the problems, then they offer the solutions. We're nothing but going to what they treat us like supplements. Take a look around you, what you see is just illusions. Everything goes in circles, but there's no revolutions. They create the problems, then they offer the solutions. We're nothing but going to what they treat us like supplements.
What you see is just illusion. What you see is just illusion. What you see is just illusion. What you see is just illusion.
All right. Thank y'all. I did send the link out. So let's see. So I'll give it a second, see if anybody gonna join. Let's see. I've only been going for 32 minutes. Well, that seems longer. I'm still streaming. Cool, cool, cool. How's the audio, fam? How's everything going right now? How's the fam? How's the audio?
Over here, I don't know about I don't know what panel here. Karen, how you doing?
Hello. I can't stay very long because I've got my own hangout, but I thought I'd better come and say hello.
Hello, Karen. How bloody are ya?
Hello, my darling.
It's good. Thanks
Hello,
for joining.
Josh. I just messaged you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you gotta.
So, what are you talking?
Oh, we're talking about the law. I'm wrapping it up on the laws of conservation part 5. This is gonna be my last series I do on this topic, and then I might move on to something else like Easter or something.
Hey, did you hear who got a strike yesterday? Or the day
Who?
before?
Who got a strike?
D Marvel.
Oh yeah. I seen this video. And he said that they strike the video 2 weeks after he
He
deleted
took
it.
down.
Yeah, he took it down. I'm like, what the hell?
I was a bit worried about the porn bomb. I thought, oh God, that's not still relevant, is it?
I thought y'all were talking about something brand new. Luckily, that's old news. Yeah, that's and you know it come from sharing that ODD video, man. Like, everybody got a strike for that, but nobody's seeing whether or not ODD got a strike for it.
Right. It doesn't make any sense. It really it
I
doesn't.
just find that really weird when he had deleted it, so it's not there. It's still
No, ma'am. But that's the thing. All right, that's the thing about even these hangout messages. All right, say everybody deletes the conversation. Well, if something happens in court and these get brought into court, every message you thought was deleted is going to be brought up.
Golly. You see why people want to leave YouTube.
Google and
I feel vulnerable, to be honest, because at any time you can get a strike or do, I suppose you have to keep going until you don't go anymore.
Yeah, it's
but
like.
You know what happens when they strike you? It totally affects your channel.
Yeah, it affects your channel, your viewership, your subs, and everything.
Live stream, especially if you like live streaming.
Same happened to Dredd. He deleted the video. D Marvel was like, "Hey, we should probably delete the video or whatever." Well, Dredd deleted the video. D Marvel deleted the video. Dredd got a strike, and then a few days later, D Marvel got a strike, and they both had already deleted the video.
Yeah, so I'm like.
I mean, what more did they want? They deleted it. I mean, I don't even know what was it about hoaxes then?
That shows you how deep this censorship is.
Right.
I mean, I get paranoid when someone on the chat says hoax. I go, no, don't talk about it.
And it doesn't make any sense, like even after they delete the video, does it go to a YouTube hard drive where they can bring it back up? You know what I mean?
If someone has actually deleted it, and then they've met all the guidelines by removing it, why should we get strikes?
Because you broke the guidelines in the first place by posting it. I mean, I guess that's their stance. I don't know.
All I'm hoping is with that porn bomb, because that was only about 3 weeks ago, is that because it wasn't rendered, it's not really shown itself anywhere. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, so far, this is my.
And do you know what? After 7 emails, I wrote them. They wrote back to me last week and directed me to the strike. I thought, they haven't listened to a word I've said.
Right.
No, man. Not at all.
Right.
And if I did get a strike, it'd be awful, wouldn't it? Because I would be nowhere, and they're directing me somewhere where I haven't got one. That only works if you get a strike. Well, it doesn't work because you're not going to get your channel back, but at least you can go to the bit with, because it says strikes. If you haven't got a strike, then they're sending you to stupid places.
We haven't caught on to the rhythm that's they're playing. The rhythm they're playing is they don't care. They only issue strikes. They don't care to remove or to any customer service, any of that. None of that matters. At that little area of YouTube, none of that matters. All this matters is issuing these strikes and getting these what they're calling conspiracy videos taken down flat out.
Basically.
Do you know what that means then? Do excuse me because I'm working. Do you know what that means then? It just means that they my point. Hang on. Yeah.
They only care
nothing's about you.
They only care about those that they promote. The 10 million subscriber YouTubers. You know, the people that's posting videos of them playing games, posting videos of them spending lavish amounts of money that you don't have. All the stuff that regular TV got.
This is all it is. But when you try to actually use their software, you know, to better people and stuff, so they can become more dependent and more self-sufficient, then they want to strike you for some.
You can come
something else as well.
Garbage.
eBay did, right? When you're selling to eBay, you've got a responsibility to your customers, right?
Right.
And when they keep changing the law, they keep changing your responsibility to everyone. The thing is, if they're changing it on a daily basis almost, how can you have time to go and read all that up, what it really means?
Right.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You can issue and post all the garbage, misinformation you want. But as soon as you start putting something that's got any kind of traction, any kind of tread, any kind of realness to it, that's when it comes under scrutiny. And that goes with whatever it is. It don't matter what truth you're talking. Any kind of truth is going to be quelled. Period.
Yeah, they don't like the truthers, do they? I mean, I put stuff out and I've mirrored it, but I'm sitting there thinking hot potatoes, because at any moment I could have done something wrong and they're going to strike you. Everybody's getting striked around me. You know, everybody you could think of is getting striked.
Sister, think about the monetization, for instance. Like I was saying on your show, there are people whose livelihood is in this. This is how they make their money, and they no longer can because the guidelines have been changed.
Yeah. Terrible, isn't it? And the thing is, I don't understand. All that stuff about Cat's Eye, with the picture of her, they actually warned me. I had 72 hours to block her picture out. Well, why can't they give everybody else 72 hours to sort it out and change it and comply to whatever they want? And then if it doesn't happen, they strike you. They should be able to give you a chance to. Why would they just want to strike everybody? Wouldn't they want somewhere where people are actually listening and looking? And this way you can maybe learn through mistakes. And all right, okay then. I mean, if you get 3 of those a month, then maybe they can strike you. But just
like
the way they're doing it is cool.
Our brother Crow 777 said it best. This is the modern day book burning. Period.
I believe that.
That's not very good, is it?
I've heard a couple of 777's stuff. You know, I might be subscribed to him. I can't remember.
I'm writing to him at the moment. It looks like he's going to come on Sun and Moon. What's Crow 777?
Very good. Hey, that's a good guy. He's real down to earth, real. You'll find it to be a different experience than the other big names you've had come on. Watch.
Oh, I don't know. Mr. Fry's really nice.
He's super cool. He's got so much information, and he stands like I stand. That our entire storyline is completely fabricated and been changed multiple times.
Yeah, changing the past now. Every day, aren't they? They change the past.
It's so much.
It's such a bad place we live.
It's so much censorship, just like ODD just said in that song I was playing. Um, like freedom of speech being oppressed, basically.
You speak your mind and then they put you under arrest. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
you know what I'm saying? Prove Ice Wall. How you doing?
What's up with you? What's
You
going
know,
on, panel? What's up with you? Yeah, I don't really understand, man. I don't see how ODD make the video, but everybody else get a strike. Like, who ODD talking to? Who he got in his pocket? Like, how you make the video and don't get the
Mind you,
strike,
maybe he
man?
doesn't want to talk about it because he's already got one more,
No,
and he
he,
loses
he don't
his
even
channel.
he don't even have to talk about it. He made the video. D Marvel got a strike. Drake got a strike. They deleted it.
mm-hmm.
It's like you got to be in bed with that. But it's crazy
Hey,
because you
I,
got a
It's
he
weird.
24
got a
hour.
responsibility. He got a responsibility to speak on that. Sorry for interrupting, my brother. You so right.
Yeah, man, I don't want to ignore this because if it keeps happening, like, come on now, like it's just a red flag to me. I'm gonna keep an eye on this situation and never forget it. It's just a red flag. That's all I'm gonna say. It's just a red flag.
Yeah, no, but if they saw that
big red
things
flags.
have been deleted, then you've actually met their guidelines by deleting it. So why do they want to keep striking? I just think that they're trying to bring flat Earth down. That's what they're trying to do.
Right. Hold on. Who just joined the panel? Speak your piece. I guess start with Yashar. That's it, right?
Shalom, shalom, Yeshua.
Yeah. I think I met you before. You was either on Dreads or Brother Sanchez's panel, Heaven, weren't you?
I've been around. I'll be on the panels. In the back chat. I've never really been on Sanchez's panel as far as talking to him, but yeah, I've been around. I'm around.
Okay. What about you, Joe?
I'm here just trying to learn, man. Just trying to learn, taking notes.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, I appreciate y'all coming, man. Welcome to Science Academy, where we go in. We go in on all these topics that people don't want to look into because they figure that the people who started or went in on the topic already had the answers for them. So
Sorry to interrupt you real quick, but did anybody catch my Hyrie video about Crowder Rapola on trial? Oh man, well I expect no one to because it speaks real shit. And he
Well, I didn't get the
exposed.
notification. I didn't get the notification. That's why Brian ain't checking
That's
that
what
in.
I mean, like I said, they gonna bottleneck this truth, brother. They gonna bottleneck.
Mm-hmm.
Mahiri, he's always on some real fact shit. I love it. And he he stayed putting chematology on trial. He's got Egyptian family, so he got
Right.
real Egyptologists in his family and shit. And he got all kind of information and showing these books the other day where it shows all these Ordo Templi Orientis, Golden Dawn, Freemason, all these symbols from even further back than what we know.
Mm-hmm.
Under Azeroth, under Azoth, all these different astrological and man, it was real fire. It's like 2 hours, 51 minutes, and it is killing fire.
I'm definitely gonna have to
Wait,
check that
who
out.
made that video?
Mahari.
Yeah,
Who's
Mahari. Mehire. You put in Mahari YouTube, you're gonna find it. He's got a long name, and it's I believe it's called Quara, or he come from a part of Egypt where the people are they admittedly have been mixed in with multiple cultures throughout history, and he it's good shit, man, real good shit, debunking a lot of these fallacies that these people are putting up about our ancient past, the Metu Netu, all these things that we have nothing that we can really, no facts,
Mm-hmm.
definitely, saying that we can read the hieroglyphics. Man, just good shit. The people of Egypt don't even know what the Metu Netu means.
You know what they've done though, don't you? They've made it almost impossible for us to go back. That's what they're trying to do, because they're changing all the history all the time.
They do, man.
They're making it almost impossible for you to connect it all back up.
Right. They'll give us they'll start, they'll start us on the road. They'll start us on the road to knowledge. And then when you get a little bit down that road, you see a fork or a turn, and then you go down that road, be like, oh shit, here's more knowledge. And then the road turns off again, and before you know, you done went down all types of roads. You found yourself in a web because you see all these roads intersecting and intertwining with each other or whatever, and nobody wants to get that broom and knock the web down to see what lies behind it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so much shit in it. You know what I'm saying? You be like, well, damn, where do I start? Cause I started on this one, but this one is, but this is connected to this, and some way it's related to it. But then when I go to this is going to refer to this other thing, which has its own research to its own. So it just makes you. I think that's why a lot of people don't like to look into our movement, because they see so many lies. It's so many lies on top of lies on top of lies. For one, I recommend them to start with the moon landing, but typically you really don't know where to start, because when you start looking,
it's like you're searching a mansion, right? But the mansion has been vacant for 150 years. You open the door, you gonna just be like, oh man, where do I start? You know, like
right? It's crazy, man. You like I don't get it. I mean, it's what you be thinking to yourself, like, I don't get it. They didn't cover the truth.
Yeah, some of us
so
have beacons in us, don't we? We can't help it. We need to keep going, and we want the truth.
They hate the fact that I'm nosy, but I say, fuck it, blow me.
And then some people don't even care. They just want the McDonald's, cinema, whatever it is, go to dance and get drunk.
Right.
These people are out. Even my own sons, they can't wait to get paralytic. That's it. That's all they
When y'all
want.
get a chance, check out that little information I posted in the back.
Yeah, I was going to speak on that information you posted. That Assyrian Sphinx looked just like the bootleg logo. The same, and that thing looked just like the bootleg logo.
I got you. Hey, we see JB. I see JB join the panel. What's good, fam?
I just, when I seen that information and came across it this morning, I'm just like, oh, okay, this is interesting, because a lot of times a lot of people put out misinformation, starting the origin of certain things, and I'm just like, oh, wait, they never talked about this, but they always say that they didn't get nothing from the Assyrians or other ancient nations before them, as if they were the start of it all.
This is nice.
Just
let my people see.
I like to bring out information like that and see how people feel about it.
What I believe is it was a lot of nations we ain't gonna never know about that they just wiped off and then replaced it with Assyria, because there was something called the Ottoman Empire in World War I. They just wiped off the map that like it never existed. Yep. So I believe there's a whole bunch of nations that existed, and they just we're just gonna replace them with the Assyrians, Sumerians. We ain't gonna talk about everybody else, because when you lose, you can't write history. Only the winners do that.
And if you look back at the Ottoman Empire and you see what their leader was called a Tsar, T-Tsar, C-Tsar. Good shit.
Right. This is
called Tsars in Russia.
I'm saying the reason they call them that is because the Roman Empire was expanded, and then it became the new Roman Empire, which was the Catholic Church, and then they branched off from that and created nations under the Catholic Church.
This is nice, fam. Can y'all see this? What
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's
so. It looks like we ain't gonna never know the truth, man. Because you really plugged in, man. Like,
this is beautiful.
We all got pieces of it, bro.
They've covered it all up.
They can't hear me. I'm talking to y'all out there in the chat room. They can't hear me. But this is beautiful.
it's like we all got pieces of it. As each one of us study and bring out the information that we come across, you know what I'm saying? It's about putting it together. Because I mean, if you understand it, you know,
The
certain things that you
grandfather
might
of
say, you know what I'm saying, I might not agree with it, but it's some things that's
generally
gonna be
called
facts and
out
truth.
the
But
son
until I come
Yamishi.
across that in my own study, you know what I'm saying, I'm just gonna be one that just don't agree. You understand what I'm saying?
And here's a coffin.
Go ahead, you got it.
This is beautiful. Okay, go ahead.
Silence. Can I just say something, Josh?
Yes, ma'am.
Last night on with Dojo came on, he said thank you very much to you.
Oh yeah, that's all love. I tuned in right as Astro was saying bye.
He just he wanted to say thank you very much to you because I think you were thanking him when you came on our panel. You were thanking him and he was thanking you.
It's just reciprocal respect.
Yeah, that's good though, isn't it? At least some of us have it.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, well, better mute myself. So what's happening then, Joe?
Oh, none. I don't think I did any. I don't think I did any live show last week.
Yeah, I'm
or whatever.
just cleaning up around the house.
Give me one moment,
But
fam.
I mean,
Oh, I'm
pretty
sorry.
much,
I'm sitting here talking. My mic was muted. Yeah, everything good. I don't think I did any live show last week because I was kind of busy and tired and exhausted and stuff. So I was like, man, I definitely gotta do a part 5 before
So you're just having a get together here. This is just a get together. Everybody say hello to each other and stuff.
No, it was actually a discussion.
I was supposed to be, sister.
Yeah, this is what it turned out to be. But we were actually gonna build on the law of conservation of electricity. Yeah.
Sometimes it's good to have the private hangouts though, and everybody talk and
be
friends and stuff like that.
I miss doing that
though. I live on a flipping hangout, don't I? I'll hangouts, then I'll after hangouts, and then by the time I go to bed, it's hard for both to go to bed.
Right. I miss doing that. Y'all can go ahead and chop it up real quick. I finna feed my boys some lunch real quick. I'll be back.
I definitely want to get back to the law of conservance or conveyance, all that. I enjoy this. See, these are things I didn't never really pay attention to in school because after a certain point, I just kind of fell off with once I started asking questions and started getting told things like, because they use science, idiot. Like that just it really, really ruined it for me.
I don't know what.
Especially if they embarrass you in the class.
I don't know what answer. I don't know what answer is used the most because this science or because of gravity. So I'm gonna let gravity.
I was telling my little brother, look, you'll have an atheist guy, right? You'll have an atheist guy. He talked about how God is this and God is that, blah blah blah. But then we'll turn around and use gravity as his God. Like it's actually ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, we live in the most strangest place that could ever exist, and no one's talking about
Lou, ¿qué pasa, mi hermana?
Lies all the time.
How you doing, baby?
I think in each era, I think there's always not a major group of people that's actually speaking on truth, but again, it's about our understanding, right? Like we can know a whole lot of we can know a lot, but
yeah.
I feel like it's a small amount everywhere, and it always has been. But because we got this network in front of us, and we're able to speak to each other, we're able to to link up and let our postulations and facts that we've picked up commingle with each other. And whether it come through as ridicule, whether it come through as accepted, we still use the network that's given to us.
Right. I agree with that 100%.
I'll be back. Y'all go ahead and chop it off. I'm gonna feed my boy some lunch real quick. It's about his lunchtime, so I'll be right back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can't stay that long myself because I'm on a hangout in an hour's time and I've got to make a post yet. It's late coming back from work today. But it's really nice hooking up. It's really nice seeing Joe and Josh. I don't really know the other guys on here.
Later, probably. Yeah, later.
Hopefully we get a chance to chop it up in the
Yeah,
near
well,
future.
I'm in the Sun and Moon group, if anybody, well, Sun and Moon Family United, if anybody's heard
What?
about that group.
Well, thanks, Karen. I'll definitely be by there later on to show you some love and support.
Well, today we've got Paul White coming on. He's doing healing hands. I mean, like being that we're on so many nights a week, we need different subjects to talk about.
You talking about Paul White, the Big
healing
Show?
hand one's quite a nice one, so
You talking about Paul White, the Big Show from WWE? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah, I'm kidding.
He's one of my he's one of the reasons I made one of those videos about playing things, and it's a hoax because he works, or his family own a petrol station, and he watches the lorries coming in, and they have to be so careful with their load of fuel. You think they've got bulkheads, there's all sorts of things in those trailers, and he said they still have to be really, really careful how they drive around in those trucks, even at a slow speed. So you just think, well, that's what a truck's got to be like. How the hell do they fly those planes? Those planes have vertical takeoffs. Not all of them. I'm not saying that every passenger flight has a vertical takeoff, but they can take off vertically. I'm sure they're flying 4D as well, because somebody directed me to 4D flying, and I can only find it on a like a toy one, like an amateur little toy thing. But those things are crazy, the 4D flying. It just looks the same when you're watching one of those Airbuses. They've captured some 4D flying. They can't even tell us the truth about that, can they? Anyway, I don't mean to hijack the conversation. You want to talk about other things, don't you?
Hey,
yeah,
son,
I will. I will when I come back. Huh? That's what I'm saying. Give me about 2 or 3 minutes. Let me get my boys lunch started, and then that way I can come back and chill out while he's sitting there eating. So give me about 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay. So what was the question for me?
Ah, shit! It just slipped my fucking mind, man.
You went, "Hey, son."
Yeah, no. I was just about to actually chime into what you were just speaking on. It just slipped my mind. Sorry.
And then I never noticed it before, but planes hovering in the sky and that people's capturing the planes hovering. It's like, what the fuck? Oh my God, what are we living in? We are sure living in something strange, aren't we?
That we are.
None of it's the truth. It's all a hologram of some kind. It's crazy. Can't tell us the truth about the pyramids and what they mean. Who thinks the pyramids were good or bad?
Pyramids found all over on every continent. That's the crazy thing to me.
Yeah, every continent. There's one up the road from me. Nobody knows about it. It's called Silver Hill, and yet nobody around here knows it's a pyramid, and yet it's in the pyramid of the world. In fact, now they're saying it's the oldest pyramids, and it's like the motherboard to the Giza plateau. So you think, what the fuck? And they're not even talking about it, and nobody around here knows it's the pyramid. It's just crazy.
Well, I gotta start thinking like them. Like, if I'm creating everyone's reality, like, what links would I go to protect that? Because don't nobody want to give up power. Nobody want to give up control. It's like if you own your own business, you don't want to give up. You don't want to empower your employees to go make their own business. You know what I'm saying? You like keeping your employees at work. You know what I'm saying? You like going on vacation. You like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do we, if they want to create an event that brings humanity together under the wrong reason, we need to create an event to bring humanity together under the right reason. Like, you got to think like them, just the opposite. If they rewrote history, well, let's go back before history then. What if they changes then? If you create a fake reality, what never changes then? You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to find the answer.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. They're just making fake realities all the time now, aren't they?
You gotta think like them.
I get what you're saying,
like them, man.
I get what you're saying, Pooh, but it's kind of hard to give you, how I would see it, because that's not necessarily how you gonna see it. You know what I'm saying? Just like the same information that we read, you probably understand it completely different than the way that I understand. So I think it comes down to us having understanding. You know what I'm saying? If it's similar, then I think we can come to a collective conclusion. But if it's completely, night and day, then that's where we're gonna have, our issues, man. You know what I'm saying? Where we can't see pretty much eye to eye, or, along the same lines that we should probably be seeing on, to where we can actually make the change with this fucked up ass system that we're dealing with. Because that's what it is. It's really the system that we're fighting against. It's not necessarily the people. But then it becomes the people because they buy into that system. So
correct. Absolutely correct.
It's heavy, man. We got a heavy ass situation to deal with. And when I say we, I'm talking about we as a people, as a collective people, not just me and my people, or you and your people.
People don't believe the lies, though, do they? They almost can't comprehend that we would have been lied to that much. But I think for most of us, something like 9/11 was the turning point. And you realise how much they lied, and then there must have been other things along the way, and then comes Flat Earth, and you think, yeah, this is what it was all about. It's not just Flat Earth. Flat Earth covers everything. All the lies. Well, that's the way I see it.
Mm-hmm.
All the lies. And I told this today. It's about George Bush sitting, obviously, in that classroom. And it's a bit like they said there was a sign at the back of the class saying, "Don't do anything." He had to sit there because he wasn't being the president. Although he's the president by face and name, he's not running the country. He had to just sit there and look a stupid idiot.
And that's the thing about these people, man. We don't know.
He used to be going, "Excuse me, let's save the children. Right, I'm going back to the White House. I'm getting me a phone." He should have been saying so many things. He didn't. He just sat there.
That's the thing about these elite. We don't know who they are. We can't pull up on nobody. But every one of us got a Facebook page, we got a Twitter page, we got an Instagram, we got YouTube, we got Google emails, but we don't know. We can't pull up on no elite member to do no type of change. We can't threaten nobody in the elite class. We got surveillance on us at every traffic light, at the gas station.
I think they're hiding the land. I think they're hiding it all in front of us as well, what's going on. Because I've worked out, right, that in this place we live, there are hot patches and there are cold patches. They just are. It doesn't matter where they are. You've got, like, the Alps in the middle of France and Spain. France is hot. Spain's even hotter. South of France is really hot. And you've got the Alps. Right, so that's really cold. Not maybe as it's this time of year, but more towards winter. But that's really cold. Then you've got Everest stuck in India, really hot place with a really cold mountain in it. And then, for instance, like my daughter-in-law comes from Lithuania, and now Lithuania is much more north than me, and they go and sit on the Baltic Sea in the summer. It's 40 degrees, and they have 6 weeks of summer that's 40 degrees. Well, if you look at Google Maps, they're looking at icebergs. And yeah, in the summer, they go and sit on there and have 6 weeks. They go there for their summer holidays. The Baltic Sea, which is what looks up to what's supposed to be the North Pole. So it's right by Russia. So it's just like, why can't they just tell us the truth that there are hot patches and cold patches where we live? Everything is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where it is. It just will be hot and cold, hot and cold, hot and cold, hot and cold, hot and cold.
Yep,
Do you know what I mean then?
Yeah.
Oh my God, someone's agreeing. I just worked it out, and so I think they're lying about Greenland, and I think they're lying about Antarctica. I think somewhere Greenland, there's more land there that's the size of Africa.
Of course they're lying.
3/4 of the size of Africa. And then you've got Antarctica. Sorry, carry on.
They act like North America and South America disappeared out of nowhere
500 years ago. Because in school, the oldest place you learned in school was Africa. Africa, the oldest, but you ain't never learned about ancient America ever in your life. No one learned about ancient South America, ancient Brazil, Peru, Venezuela. No, you ain't gonna learn about ancient America.
Yeah, you
though.
follow David.
It's gonna be called the Newfoundland.
I'm
It's gonna be called Newfoundland.
David he's written to me today and he's just said, I don't come from Africa, I'm a Native American. And so I'm an Aborigine from America.
David,
I believe it goes back further than that. I'm just saying no one even knew about ancient America though.
I think it goes back to source.
Yeah, source.
Why does we do this every time for lunch?
Because you just ate some new gizzards.
And see, the reason I say that, all right, I grew up in Memphis, right? Memphis, Tennessee. I grew up around, all right, as a joke, I think everybody wanted to say that they was Native American or they had Native American blood.
Dad,
but in some people, you could see that there was different face structures, different hair structures, different everything, yet they were black. Some were dark black, some were light black, some were red, some were yellow, some were, all sorts. And I used to tell folks, I think y'all got ancient blood. I think it go, and they would be like, yeah, we come from kings and queens, but, and that's the spoon-fed nonsense. But the truth to it, I believe, is that our brothers and sisters in America of dark skin that we were told come from Africa were already here.
You gotta be, because Columbus picked up at the story, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I just seen people here, but you never know about their history.
What Columbus said. When you read what Columbus said about when he set sail in Florida, these folks was not what we know as like the Asian-looking Native Americans, the Inuit-looking people. They were nothing like that. He explained them to look exactly like the Cubans the Cubans, Colombians, Dominicans, Brazilians, all the indigenous races that you can't get the real history on because it's been wiped out.
And so going hand in hand with what you're saying is why they related the so-called African Americans that they brought over on the slave ships, or the Africans. That's why they said the native people, y'all Negroes now. Because y'all look like the motherfuckers that came and brought over here from across the damn boats.
Do you believe that's not real now? Because that made, say, black people hate white people. And the white people hate the black people. And none of it's real.
Say that again.
It's not real. It's built. It's a built narrative, sister. We all, anyone with any kind of critical thinking can see that it's a built narrative. We are all in the struggle together, regardless of color, race, background. Unless you're of a high social background, no way.
That's what I say. Everybody thinks it's one person against each other, but it's not. They've turned us all against each other.
But see, you got to understand who is the they, because the they run a specific system. No, understand what I'm saying. I'm not being racist and I'm not being a bigot at all. What I'm saying is I'm speaking truth. You have to understand who the they is, because pretty much each group of people had their time to rule or run a nation or run the world, so to say. If you go back in history and now let you just dismiss everything in history and say, well, shit, it started when I came to have an understanding.
I believe it all goes back. My belief is that all the ruling class, though, can be traced back to Switzerland and the original Knights Templar.
For this particular system, correct? Or are you talking about in the whole entire world?
Exactly. This new system that we're in, and we've been in since about what I would say maybe 1,000. What we know of as the year maybe 1,000. But before that, it was definitely Greco-Roman, Egyptian. It was like a mix of all of those coming together.
Right. So that's all I'm pointing out. You know what I'm saying? When we understand, because see now with this particular system, it's like a melting pot. So the one particular nation of people that's been ruled, they making sure that everybody else that's paying homage to them is following up under their system. And if they not, they gonna get their ass towed up. And it's just that simple.
All right, if you check our English language, right, you'll see that they'll tell us that it's Latin based, right? Well, if you look more into it, you'll see that there's Greek words, Latin words, and a whole lot of Sanskrit words. Well, if you start looking into the Sanskrit side of things, you'll see that was I believe that was one of the first people that were eaten by the Egyptian empire. They took them and took their ancient cosmologies and took all their ancient ways of doing things, mixed it with their mystical ways of doing things, and you got the Egyptian, or what we would call the I guess pre-Egyptian. And after the pre-Egyptian, you got where Rome comes in, Greek and Rome. And then they take it and twist it up because they all can join together again with, increasing their empire. When you do that, the gain of so much territory occurs. When you got three people that co-mingle and the bloodlines get co-mingled into each other to one bloodline amongst the people, that's a lot of territory. And I don't think they gave it up. And I don't think it ever has been given up. I think it just moved around.
It expands. You know what I'm saying? As they grow, as they empire grows, their land grows. You know what I'm saying? The more people that don't fall in line with them, they take that land and replace their ass, erase their history.
And replace it with their own and commingle with them, so you have a whole new people. And it goes on and on and on and on and on until you got what we got today. You got where it looks like there's little empires, like white, black, Asian, it looks like there's empires, but in reality it was just we were corralled into that position to fit a narrative.
Correct. Because the elite don't see any color but green. That shit is about to change too, so I don't know what other color they start seeing after they take that money away.
Exactly. And see, that's something I wrote Bro Sanchez. I believe I wrote Bro Sanchez 100 on, is the fact that at the top, you're going to see all colors. If you was to step into the room with the people at the top of the top, you're going to see all colors. And it's going to shock you. When you see who's truly running things, it's going to shock you. Who has put their people in servitude? Who has done all the things to their own people? It's going to shock you.
Everybody in rule right now. So from your emirs to your presidents to your kings to whatever title that you want to give any other nation of people that's running their particular country, they have sold their country and sold their people out. 100. And trust me, you can't find out one system where that particular president is fighting against the whole fucking world, because that's what he would have to do. Everybody done bought into this fucking system that we're dealing with right now. Everybody.
Right. My brother Huey, we was talking the other night about how do we explain to everybody, the urgency of just unplugging from the system we're in. And I think I come up on an idea. If we all start explaining to everybody how we don't need our driver's license to drive around, and we can start showing and proving that we're beating these cases, more people will grab on, and more people will start grabbing on to all the other fallacies and start tearing them down.
Right. It's like, I'm back, by the way. It's like people think we live in freedom. We don't live in no fucking freedom. We need a permit to drive. We need a permit to fish. We need a permit to hunt. We need a permit to build a house, to own land. We need a permit to leave the country. We need a permit to enter the country. Shit, we need a permit in some states in the U.S. We need a permit through a toll booth to go into another state. So how the fuck we living in a goddamn country of freedom when we need permission to do all this shit?
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
You need a permit. You need a permit. You need a permit for your.
Taking pictures of you probably as well.
Right, and you need a permit. You need a permit for your kids to go to school. Now they need shot records, permitted shot records for your kid to enter a public school system. I mean, what kind of shit is that? or should I say,
Well, that means we obviously are going to send our children to public school. You know, like that's what I'm trying to get on my baby mama on board with our youngest one. She got all the other ones in public school, and I'm like, man, I think we should homeschool the youngest. Like, I think it would set him up for a different future because he's going to learn to think instead of learning to absorb and regurgitate.
Right, and it doesn't make any
What
sense.
did she say then?
Is she on board or is she thinking about it?
No, she don't want to get, she don't want to get the kids taken away like any mother. That's what a mother's ultimate fear, just like it's my ultimate fear. No, we don't want our babies taken away from us, but at the same time, my baby's like 2 years behind on his shots and shit. I don't fuck with that shit. I don't fuck with that shit at all.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. How a government gonna tell me I can only see my kids on the weekends? Like, that's not even your kids no more. That's not even your kids. If another man can come in and tell you, hey, bro, look, you came to court, good. Well, you can only see your kids on the weekend. And if you want them to come to our school, they better have these shots that poison up in them. Because, I just hate it. I just hate this whole system, man. And it's kind of obvious.
You'll have people from like North Korea who have escaped, or supposedly, which I think is fake as hell. And they'll tell you that when they come to America, they were like, oh, I understood finally what freedom was and all this old bullshit. Look, man, the freedom is fictional. The freedom in reality is totally different.
Yeah, there's no freedom. We're living in some kind of communism. It is. It's communism. That's what they've done to us.
I call it invisible slavery.
Exactly why I just said welcome to China, because
oh, everybody dropped out. Everybody dropped out. All right, they coming back in.
Good old Google host shit.
What's good? Everybody, let's see. All right, they go Sun and Moon.
Yeah, I got kicked off there.
Yeah, y'all on y'all. Y'all on y'all.
What my phone call says, you've been removed.
Well, are y'all on y'all phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason I don't know why. I don't know why it does
but it
that.
didn't say I was removed. It said I left the call. That's the difference. If you can come back to a call you left, but you can come back to a call you've been removed from.
No, I know, but it says you've been removed. That's what the message said, but it's them messing around in that.
Oh, it didn't say that to me. It only said I left the call. That's strange.
Yeah, it did.
No, it said that to me too. It said I left. I didn't leave. I don't know. They just want to censor the truth, but you can't, because you can't hide a lie. Everything done in the dark. So we'll come to the light.
Just getting interesting on the conversation there.
That's why so many people embrace the darkness. That's why
these channels more than I get kicked off these builds more than I'm allowed to speak in general. I mean, that's just how it goes. And luckily, these people who have these panels allow me to come on and speak. But I have to back out and come back into these chats often. It kicked me out, say I left.
Bit annoying, that.
What's good?
Hey, David!
Yeah.
David, I replied to you.
You see David?
Didn't you hear us?
Unmute your mic, bro. Sun and Moon was talking to you.
No, that's another brother, my sister. He just he got that indigenous blood like our brother David.
Oh, it's not David.
No, ma'am. That's our brother Yashir.
I'm really sorry. Really sorry.
My bad. You was talking to me? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you happen to look like our brother David. We got a brother that's on that gets on these panels. His name is David. He's a barber down in Texas. Wonderful brother.
Oh, cool. Yeah, man, we all related. Just keep that shit 100. Yeah.
So let's.
That's why we look alike. Ain't never met each other.
Because you are related.
Yep.
Our energy's so strong, man. I guess we all start to look alike.
I wouldn't lie to you.
I'm kidding. But yeah, let's go ahead and build on this little topic real quick. That I got in the title about the. Let me share my screen. There you go. You said you had some input on this, Josh.
What you said?
You said you got some input on this.
No, I want to know more about this. I enjoy absorbing.
Yeah, well, we started off with the law of conservation of mass. Let me.
Yeah, I followed through off the other four. That's why I'm on this one right here. I'm glad to be part of it live.
Oh, cool. Glad to have you. So to end the topic, I went on and did a part 5 because you know electric charge is very, very important to us. It runs through us, it runs through our earth, it runs through our skies, through our plants. It runs through our animals. I mean, so I feel that this right here was a very I think this right here is a good way to end the series, I believe, is by building on the law of conservation of electric charge. Um but they said that with this one, with all the other conservations, it says that it's in an isolated enclosed system, our Earth, and it cannot be created or destroyed. But it seems like this one right here, um, it seems like this one right here that y'all can see that they're kind of making an exception. That does not mean that individual positive or negative charge cannot be created. So I'm trying to figure out what they mean by that. Like, you talking about like the electric charge within people? That's the only thing I can think of, because people, people, and per se animals are the only thing really that can be created or destroyed. You know what I mean? But as far as the electric
Well, I
charge,
think that what they've done is they've kept telling us that we're looking at meat, but we actually are the meat as well.
right?
They're just like forgetting to tell everybody that you're the meat as well. Sorry, carry on, Joe.
What's up? Hold on, real quick. What's up?
I'm just staring at you.
Oh, okay. I was like, you still hungry or something? Okay, so it said the electric charge is carried by subatomic particles such as electrons and protons, which can be created or destroyed. In particle physics, charge conservation means that in elementary particle reactions that create charged particles, equal numbers of positive and negative particles are always created, keeping that net amount charge unchanged. So, like, huh? If it's unchanged and constant, how in the world it is still created or destroyed? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think, my opinion, I think they just came up with this part right here off the top of their head. They just like basically made it up. Didn't didn't try to observe it. They didn't. In my opinion, I don't think they observed it or experimented with this before they came up with this. Before they wrote this. Similarly, when particles are destroyed, equal numbers of positive and negative charges are destroyed. Um, hold on. You see what I'm
Question:
saying?
electricity is considered energy, right? In science, right?
Say what now?
I said electricity, as far as science go, electricity is considered to be energy, right?
You said, oh yeah, electric charge. Cause this is what electricity is. It's a charge. You know what I mean?
It's all
So that
the thing is that it's only being tapped into. It's already there, and I think that's the misconception that they've been feeding us. is that the electricity is already there around us, and that's what these substations is for, is gathering the electricity out of the air. And they're bullshitting us and telling us it comes from these coal plants, and maybe it does somewhat, but I think it's getting amped up by these little substations using atmospheric energy.
Right.
Of course, I would say that makes more sense than anything. You know what I'm saying, as far as what they doing.
Can
as far
I just
as
say
the
I've got to go because I'm waiting. I'm doing my thing to go live. So sorry. I'm really enjoying this. I'd have stayed much longer if I hadn't had to go and do my own hangout. Sorry for interrupting. Really nice to meet everybody. Josh, Joe. Yes. See you soon.
Yes, man. Well,
And
thank you
invite
for
me again,
coming.
Joe.
Oh,
no, thank you, Joe. That was great.
Not a problem.
It's always good to talk.
Always, man. We love each other.
Yeah, I love you lots.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sure I'll see you in a little bit. I'm curious what our brother Yashar was about to say. Sorry,
everybody. Goodbye.
You're good, Karen. I'll be over at your.
I'm making the post for tonight. You coming on tonight, Astral? You can stay in. Astral, we can't hear you.
Is Astral here? There he is. Hey, Astral, welcome.
Hi, people. Yeah, I'll come on later. Yeah, come on later.
Okay then. Bye,
just
everybody.
Just waking up.
All right, Sunny Moon.
No, bye, darlings. Bye. Bye, Astral. Bye.
Shalom,
bye.
son.
But yeah, what I better say? Oh yeah. We definitely, if y'all know, go subscribe to the Sun and Moon Family United group. They always have nice, calm, mellow, peaceful shows over there. The Astro Thief, who's on the panel right now, he's also a regular over there, always on their panel. So subscribe to him as well. But yeah, let's go ahead and get back into this. Welcome, Astro. How you been, sir?
I'm blessed. I can't complain, man. I'll favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But what I wanted, the point that I wanted to make was, or the question that I really have is, let me just make a point. No question. I don't see energy being able to be cut off or anything like that. Mm-hmm. I believe it can be adjusted. We learn how to adjust the energy levels. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, there is no end or no beginning to what we call energy or electricity.
Right.
That's my opinion.
Right. Which,
from what
that's facts.
The information that's read or posted in, on the screen, that just completely just didn't make no sense to me.
That's facts though, because it can't be created nor destroyed. You know what I mean? What I better say? Because what you're talking about is transfer, where it can't be created nor destroyed, but can transfer from one form to the next. Like, for instance, electricity can be transferred from the earth into our homes, basically.
Or moving cars,
Yeah, moving cars, what's that? The
airplanes. Pretty much anything that we pretty much get actually, connected to. It could have electricity as far as something that's created, as far as something that we as human beings create. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying, like, just the way that they presented that information, it seemed like they were trying to say that, that's basically energy or electricity. It has a beginning, or like they understand the source of it to where they can basically say, well, we can shut it off. That's basically how I was taking it, the way it was being presented.
They can shut it off because they got the control, but they can't destroy it. They can shut off our lights, but the fact still remain. They can't destroy the electricity that's running underneath my house.
Right, nor can they destroy the electricity that's running through our bodies, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
I think that's been the long-term plan of theirs, is to control the natural flowing electricity in the ground and the atmosphere plane, as well as the natural flowing energy within and without us.
Right. It's crazy how much they how much they blind us or hide from us from the fact for us to connect to our universe, to our one song. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me give a shout
They
out.
make
Let me give a shout out to Astro Thief real quick. Hey Astro Thief, welcome to the panel, sir. How you doing?
Thank you. Yeah. How y'all doing?
We doing good, bro. We doing.
Nice. You
it
just
seems like what they do.
carry on there.
Hold on, real quick.
It seems like what they do is
Hold
no
on.
matter who it is, I ain't when I say our people, meaning that you know what I'm saying, the creative mind, right?
Hold on, real
What
quick,
they
bro.
do is they
Hey, hold on, real quick. Yashar. I'm gonna get the floor back to you in just a minute. What were you saying, Astro? Astro Thief.
No, nothing. I didn't say anything. I said carry on as you were. You was talking. I don't want to interrupt. I was listening.
Oh yeah.
That was all. I yield the floor.
well, real quick before I pass the mic back, what are your thoughts on the any of the laws of conservation that I've been building on? Like, well, I don't know if you watched the last 4 shows, but the last 4 shows I was kind of build on. I would kind of build on another what you call it. I would try to build on another law of conservation or whatever. So I mean, I guess if you ain't watched the previous 4 shows, I definitely go check it out because we're dissecting it topic by topic. Um, and so then I came across when I came across this one, I was like, hey, we definitely got to build on this one too because electricity is in everything. Everything is energy, right? So, and I know if Rosine was here, he would definitely. And who's the other guy, Matt, that be on Karen's panel all the time? I know they would have a lot to say about electricity, about how we're connected with electricity. You know, I see Spike joint. What's going on, Spike?
So what's going on, JT?
Oh shit, I can't remember, man. You Glowbird the Flat Earth.
Nah. I definitely ain't Glover. But nah,
Okay, I had to.
I've been watching y'all for a minute, so I support I support Flat Earth all day.
This was I had to hide my screen for a minute because I can't remember who you are. make sure you
Nah,
wasn't no make sure you wasn't no
but you
porn bomber.
oh nah. I come for the information and try to share a little bit, but like it's on point because everything we talk about, like if we could, because I just been listening, but if we could find a way, hypothetically speaking, to harness our electricity and figure out how to power our own lights and then figure out how to grow our own food and stuff like that and then uh like stop listening to what they put on us, the mainstream radios and the movies, and we start creating our own movies and creating and painting our own pictures of what we think of ourselves, because the picture they paint is like, and I'm talking about Negroes especially, but the picture they paint make us wanna, hurt each other or kill each other or they talk down. But if we look at each other as gods, not gods in the sense of praising each other, but gods in the sense of the negative, like you're a great man, you're a great creation, and I respect you like that, then the rest of the world ain't gonna have no choice but to respect us like that. But if I get on here and I'm talking shit to you and I don't got no problem killing you and you ain't nothing, and then the rest of the world gonna act like that too. But
Right.
I'm sorry, I'm off topic.
Yeah. It's all the brainwashing of insignificant dust that was placed here. That was placed here because the condom busted, and we were all placed here by accident.
Right. So
I'm sorry. It's just easy for me to make fun of this shit. It's just so it's just so easy for me to just laugh how stupid. I mean, the theory is so stupid. They made a comedy out of it. I mean, that should have people scratching their heads. Like, they made a few comedies out of it. You remember Mork and Mindy, Third Rock from the Sun, you know, The Big
yeah,
Bang Theory,
yeah.
uh, uh, Alf. You know what I'm saying? They made this theory is so stupid. What's the other one? I can't think of the other one. But they made it so stupid. The theory is so stupid. It's laughable. They made comedies out of it. But real quick, I'm going to go ahead and
Mm-hmm.
pass the mic back to Yashara. Go ahead, Yashara. The floor was is yours. What were you saying, sir? Yashar, you there? Okay, well, I'm pass JB, you there? Wait, JB? Uh, he might be at work. Oh, there you are. What's up, bro?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up, fam?
Oh
Can you
shit,
hear me?
man. Yeah. We can hear you just fine, bro.
Okay, I'm going back on mute. I'm just finishing up work.
All right, cool. Go ahead.
Okay.
What about to say? But yeah, so when you actually look into this, what was here it is. Charge conservation can also be understood as a consequence of symmetry through no Noether's theorem, a central result in theoretical physics. There go that word again, fam. That asserts that each conservation law is associated with the symmetry of the underlying physics. So I mean, of course, we know that all conservation is is associated with physics, but it's associated with applied physics, not fucking theoretical physics. What the? You see what I'm saying? They still trying to make theories fit facts, man. We don't deny physics. We don't deny science. We apply science. Yes, we deny theoretical science. Well, I do. I can't speak for everybody, but I deny theoretical science because it's only theories. It's only theories that can't be backed up with that can't be backed up with observations, cannot be backed up with uh with experiment. And if it can be backed up with observation, the observation does not um the observation is not backed up with an experiment. So when observations cannot be backed up with experiment, they give you this bullshit like this. You know what I'm saying? That's not science. That's pseudoscience. Why? Because I'll tell you why. Let me read my description. Because science is the intellectual and practical activity encompassing the systematic study of the physical and natural world through observation and experiment. So we don't deny science, okay? Science that we can apply, that we can observe and experiment. We don't deny that science. We don't deny physics that we can apply. But yeah, we're gonna deny this bull. Well, I'm gonna deny this bullshit, this theoretical bullshit that you try to shove down our throats. Cause it's all it is. It's just theories. It's just theories. Let's continue. The symmetry that is associated with charge conservation is the global gauge invariance of the magnetic field. Let's see what the globe invariance is, right, don't we? In physics, they always like to start off in physics. A gauge theory is a type of field theory in which la la something I can't pronounce that. Lagrangian, okay. Lagrangian is invariant under certain Lie groups of local transformations. Look at that. You see that? Certain Lie groups. How interesting. The term gauge, or some people might say gouge, refers to any specific mathematical formalism to regulate redundant degrees of freedom in the Lagrangian. The transformations between possible gauges or gouges called gauge or gauge transformation form a Lie group. Let's see what the Lie group is. See what I'm saying? When you research something, it'll give you like a keyword or something. You click on it, then you have to research that so you can understand the main topic you're researching. In mathematics, a Lie group is a group that is also differentiable manifold with a property that the group operations are compatible with the smooth structure. Lie groups are named after Norwegian mathematician Sophus Lie, who laid the foundations of the theory of continuous transformation groups. And it's funny, look how I guess they want to, you can call this a flat earth, and look at the center. Like, it's just, it's just, it's just ridiculous though, man, how, they give you all this bullshit to make something so simple and something so simple with common sense, they make it all difficult. But I read on in this hold on, let me see. This is related to the fact that the electric and magnetic fields are not changed by different choices of value representing the 0 point of electrostatic potential. Hmm. So could this mean that this right here could debunk the globe? Because they say that certain magnetic fields or whatever are different are different values below the equator, or the southern hemisphere or whatever. But according to the law of conservation of electric charge, electric and magnetic fields are not changed by different choices, because in my opinion, the electromagnetic charge over this entire plane, even in the atmosphere plane, it's the same. The full statement of gauge invariance is that physics of an electromagnetic field are unchanged when the when the scalar and vector potential are shifted by the gradient of an arbitrary scalar field. And of course, they're gonna give us another equation that has no relevance in the physical and natural world at all. You know what I'm saying? When you look up at the sun, you ain't gonna look at this equation and be like, well, this says that. This no, it doesn't. You're just gonna use your six giving God senses, you know. But yeah, here. I stop it right here for now. I'll rest the floor. Anybody want to build on this? Don't everybody speak at once. Anybody, y'all there? Anybody there?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah, I say you want to build on this. Let's see. Says in quantum mechanics, the scalar field is equivalent to the phase shift in the wave function of the charged particle. So gauge invariance is equivalent to the well-known fact that changes in the phase of a wave function are unobservable, unobservable, and only changes the magnitude of wave function because it changes the changes to the probability function. This is the ultimate theoretical. It's an unobservable, so that's why it is the ultimate theoretical origin of charge conservation. Talking about is unobservable. Electric charge is observable. I mean, even if it doesn't gather enough charge for us to see it with our eyes, because when we see lightning, it's because that it has gathered enough charge to become powerful enough to be seen with a naked eye. But electricity electricity can easily be detected. You ever walk into a foggy room, right? You know what I'm saying? You ever walk into a foggy room and let's say you walk into a freezer at your job or something, right? And you walk into this foggy room and you know you got some lights going on or whatever. You can see that electric charge cutting through the fog. But the charge is so small that without the fog you would not be able to see that electricity flowing through the air, through the atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? But if you grab any substance to slow down its energy, you'll be able to see it. You know what I mean? Like, I mean that's just simple stuff. Like when you walk into an infrared room, I mean a room that got infrared lasers. Now you're not going to be able to see it with the naked eye unless you got on some night vision goggles or something, some thermal vision. But without thermal vision, all you got to do is just fill the room up with smoke and mirrors, and you'll be able to see those with the naked eye. It's just that the charge is not strong enough for you to see it with the naked eye. So you would have to create an environment where it would slow down because when you throw that smoke into the atmosphere, it kind of makes the air somewhat thicker. You know, like to like when your house is on fire and your house is covered with smoke. God forbid that doesn't happen to anyone, but this is just an example. Your house is covered with smoke, and then eventually that smoke is going to suffocate you because they made the atmosphere too thick to breathe. That same law, that same example applies to being able to see electricity and infrared lights because the air is so thin it's able to pass through without being seen. You know what I'm saying? But let's say you release an aerosol can in the room or just fill the room up with smoke or something or whatever, you'll be able to see it because it would make the air thicker, therefore slowing down its energy. When it slows down its energy, you'll be able to see it moving. You know, so this right here talking about unobservable bullshit. It is observable. Due during the certain circumstances, you know. But since they claim it's not observable, they come up with these equations to explain why you can't observe. Just like they come up with equations why you can't observe curvature or why you can't observe motion. Bullshit. But I rest the flow. I'm getting long winded. Go ahead. Flat Earth Unity. You wanna chime in? Is he there? Unity, you there? Or Spike or JB, y'all there? Well, no.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. JB is he's I think he's wrapping up his the end of his shift.
Yeah, no, I agree with you because we only limited to these five senses, but it's so much stuff going around us, and just because they saying that we can't see like the transition of what's happening, we can definitely see the results of what's happening when it comes to this electricity. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And also I think like these equations and all that stuff, that's just to throw people off because they know that it's not nothing that people can normally comprehend. And if you can't comprehend it, then you in on it. You know what I mean? You in on the whole thing.
Right.
So I agree with you, man.
I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Hold on, let me give me something to drink real quick. But yeah, see, they wanted to come up with the laws of conservation or whatever to prove the globe, but they didn't think that retarded, dumbass, uneducated, conspiracy theorist, thick cunt as myself would go back and re-examine it and see that when you really look into it, all of the laws of conservation actually support flat Earth. It support it supports it supports a beautiful flat plane that cannot be created nor destroyed. So it wasn't created. It wasn't created by the Big Bang Theory, and a lot of Christian flat earthers or Bible thumbers or whatever, they probably will crucify me when I tell them it wasn't created by God either. It was already here. God was already here. God had been here the whole time with Earth. Now He created everything on Earth. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? He really really when I look at things like as far as he created people and animals, I should say, but when I really look at it at things, um, it really didn't. I mean, this is just my opinion here. It really didn't create any the trees and the mountains and stuff as well, because the law says that nothing can be created nor destroyed. However, can transfer from one form to the next. And since trees grow out of the earth, and since mountains and stuff grew from the earth, all they did was just transfer from the earth to a different form. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, people can crucify me or whatever, but you can't call yourself a truther if you don't want to if you don't even want to question your own Bible or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta think the Bible was written by men just like our science books, just like our history books, just like our math and English books. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta consider that it has a publishing day and a copyright on it, just like any book that you ever read.
Yeah, and on that Bible, and whenever I found something like the other week to help debunk, not really debunk the Bible, but just to show people that this ain't, just to take it off the pedestal a little bit, like because when I was reading it, and it's Psalms 46, and you can look it up online, but Shakespeare actually had something to do with writing the Bible, because the Bible was written again by King James in 16. It came out in 1611 or 1610, one of those dates. And Shakespeare, if you go to Psalms 46, look it up online to get the exact one, and you go to the 46th word from the beginning and the 46th word from the end on that verse, it's gonna say Shakespeare. And he literally died like I wrote the notes down, but he literally died like 6 years after the Bible came out. And King James, he died 11 years after the Bible came out. So he the one who published the Bible, and he died 11 years after his Bible came out. And I did some research on him. It turns out that he got married into royalty. He wasn't royalty. He got married into royalty into the Scottish, and then for somehow he got king of England. He got into England too. So that just lets you know that these people, even that they may be noble people, but they at the end of the day, they people like we people, and people is making it seem like God wrote this, but actually Shakespeare has something to do with writing it, and King James is just he had a lot of accomplishment by becoming king of England and Scotland. I'll give you that, but at the end of the day, kings go through shit too. You got killed, you know what I mean? So that's just letting me know, everybody's human, everything is human, and we putting this book on the pedestal as if it is God, and it's not.
Hmm. Let me give a shout out to brother Sanchez. Um, he was out in the chat. He said about to head out. I'll be back. What's up, bro? Everything good, man. I don't know if you left yet, but yeah, definitely come back, man. You know, if you come back, if you come back soon and we're still going live, man, I definitely would like you on the panel so I can hear your feedback and opinions on the laws of conservation. I believe the show you did Thursday before last, I was trying to find a connection between the laws of conservation and the ancestors and the Kemetic cosmology or whatever. And I believe that one presentation you made with G consciousness. Watching that presentation, that when you shared your screen, I think it helped me find the connection between the two. And my thing is, like I said, they knew about the laws. They knew about the laws of conservation, but they wrote about it. They didn't write it. They didn't write it like this. They wrote it in symbols, in pictures and symbols and signs and stuff. So now I know it's gonna be a bitch looking through all the hieroglyphs to try to try to uh, decipher which ones were they were talking about the laws of conservation on, you know. But go ahead. I just want to say that the floor. Who was talking? Spike. Go ahead, Spike. The floor is yours. Oh, Huey, my brother Huey. What's going on, Huey?
What's up, Huey?
What's good, man? Did you want to chime in?
Yeah, I'm just checking in, bro. Just shouting out, man. Just getting off my daily job, man.
That's what's up, man. It's always a pleasure to have you on the panel, my brother. Huh?
God damn, what is going on? All this goddamn traffic. Yeah, man. I was just checking in, man. I'll check in once I hear something. How everybody doing today, though?
You know, too blessed to be stressed.
Feel me?
Right, right.
More. We gotta be more. You feel me? And we keep being blessed. Blessed mean to be less. We want to be more. We want to be more than these motherfuckers can ever imagine. There's some problems, man. Our meditation's up. Get your frequencies up, man, because this ain't a physical world, bro. This is a spiritual world we're dealing with right now, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, I just say that, man. Y'all keep y'all spirits up, man. Let's get together. Let's do something real big. Make something happen, man. Let's make something happen, y'all. We got enough followers and everything. That's my push. Let's make something happen, y'all. Let's make them feel our flat fucking. Let's come up with something, y'all. Every fucking body. That's what we need to push. Let's just make these motherfuckers see that this flat earth is really a force to be reckoned.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. I'm going hard body. I always go hard body on this fucking globe, man. So they like to come hard body at us. They like to come hard body at us, saying we're uneducated. They said they can't hear you, Huey. I got his mic turned up though. Let me check again. Let me see. Hold on.
Trade it out on some next shit. How many people in this love? Say, come on. Word up. Y'all better start putting that good vibrations in y'all life. Listen to that old 90s music. Listen to the gods and how we was building. Listen to fucking
Right.
listen to goddamn Wu-Tang. Listen to fucking J. Rooter Dermager. J. Rooter Dermager is talking about super scientific madness. All this shit that's going on right now, he was talking about that shit then, man. Listen to Black Dot. We come from the Black Dot. That's why the God got his name Black Dot. And you can know the truth, man. Oh man, we've been gods, man. They tricked us in thinking that we was human beings. We are gods.
Definitely.
We are gods. Stop looking at ourselves for the creation. The truth is in us. We are the truth. We speaking the word right now. We speaking the truth. That's why they can't handle this shit. Flat motherfucking power.
Flat power. A lot of people, and you know what, Huey? Though a lot of people can't handle the truth. A lot of people really can't.
It's too heavy. You know why? Because we realize that the earth is flat, so we can see at a level head, bro. Their head's still spinning. They can't believe it. When they hear that shit, that make their heads spin even more. They're like, damn.
And that's facts.
That's why we gotta get these kids. These kids know. 25 and they fucking know, bro.
They don't. It's totally. They're totally incapable of grabbing the excuse me, of grabbing the concept of being lied to on a grand scale. You know, let me see.
Yeah, cause I'm fairly new to this flat Earth thing. So once I found out that it was flat, and I honestly did my research and came to that conclusion, man, this shit is shocking, bro. Just to know that how they really is being deceitful, bro. They really lying, and they really, like you were saying, they do have everybody out here head spinning, bro. They got everybody head spinning, and it's hard to even try to help some of the sisters and brothers in real life because they look at you like you crazy. So it got to the point to where I just be having to come to my chat, come to these chats, you know what I mean? Because everybody else head spinning.
Find a way to conserve energy. Harsh Truth Engineer says, I'm working on a little project for renewable energy, a device I'm trying to get work based on the motion of ocean tides. God knows if it will work. Empress Lou said, any motion would generate power. Sounds like it would work. Find a way to conserve energy when tires are low. Wilson Flamenco, how you doing? Let me know if you want on the panel, brother. Yeah, I definitely hope Brother Sanchez get bad because I know he likes to go in deep on science and stuff. But why? How do we? It's like how do we consider ourselves truth seekers, right? Or flat earthers? I try not to use flat earth. I try to use truth seeker because I tend to look into more truth besides flat earth. You know what I mean? And I mean I try to look into more deceptions besides flat earth, even though flat earth is literally the center of the universe. It's the center of everything in the sky. It's the center of all lies and deceptions. You know what I'm saying? It's a symptom of all war and military. It's the center of everything. And But the thing is, how can we call ourselves uh, truth seekers and we don't even really look into the textbook science like as we're doing now. We don't look into the, you know what I'm saying? It's like it seems like that some people figure like what's a textbook? It's just it's a lie or something. But you actually need to look. I just woke up one morning. I was like, you know what? Because I remember the basics of what the laws of conservation stated, and then I got to thinking. I was like, damn. I do remember I do remember learning and going doing my kids' homework and stuff as a lot of whatever the conservation of mass energy, whatever was highlighted in yellow as a vocabulary word for that particular unit or chapter or something. And then I was like, every time I came across it, it said it cannot be created nor destroyed. So I got to scratching my head. I'm like, if it says that mass cannot be created nor destroyed, but just basically transferred from one form to another, which is basically transformation or something, I don't know. I'm like, doesn't that destroy the Big Bang Theory? So I got to looking into it. And I think the first time I actually really started looking into it in detail and in depth was part one. When I did part one, because and the reason I did it that way, so it wouldn't seem like, you know what I'm saying, I was like talking out of my ass, and so it wouldn't seem like that the show was rehearsed. So anybody who was on the show or was a part of the show that day, that was their first time actually looking in depth with the laws of conservation with me. It was our first time for actually looking into it in depth. You know what I'm saying? Because I wanted all the information basically to be fresh together. And the more I look into it, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't fit the globe at all. They can say all these globe, they can all put, they can all state the globe in a sentence, or mention about the vast universe or whatever, just to throw you off. But none of this supports the globe, in my opinion. I mean, what do y'all think? Go ahead. I was getting long winded, but yeah. Well, what are y'all opinions on this, man? When you really look at this information, this really does not support the globe. I mean, but you know what I'm saying? What are y'all opinions on this? So, I think.
Everybody don't speak at once. No, though, don't nothing support the globe.
I'm gonna get to y'all, man. I'm about to clock out right here in about 2 minutes.
Don't nothing support the globe over here. Like, goddamn, how long we gonna kill this motherfucker? We like, we overkilling this motherfucker. You gonna kill that motherfucker? We gonna kill it? We gonna goddamn, bro, go Earth, man. What we gonna do about something? Hell, what we gonna do with this energy? Transfer this energy.
the globe
We can
just
change the way of this world. We can change the energy of the monotony of the world. But we have to fucking be strategic in our efforts. You know what I'm saying? We have to collect our energy as one. Find our energy, man. Oh, we gotta fucking do something with this energy. What y'all say? I don't know.
My fault. I was reading the chat. Um, Shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, now I remember. Yeah, the globe definitely being destroyed. The globe the globe is breaking the law of conservation of mass because it's gonna get destroyed by truth seekers. You know, hold on, my speaker came off. Give me a second.
Told us. That's the same thing. So it don't really destroy that theory because that shit was never created, or you can't destroy that something that was never created. You know what I'm saying? That shit is never fucking real in the first place.
You can't create mass. You can't create energy.
Right?
You know, well I should say, but see
How we
when
gonna
we
create
when,
some energy to kill something that don't even have the energy? Yeah. You know, you
but
can't take away their energy.
but
We give it
saying
the
that,
energy with our thoughts.
but you know what? But
You
saying
know?
that, how you can't create mass, um, I take my stance back on saying that people can be created or can't be created or destroyed because people is mass. The bodies that share their
That we are.
spirits are is the mass. But when I think about it, people really can't be created either. You know what I'm saying? It just transfers. It just like you said, it just transfers one form of mass to the other, or one form of energy to the
To the
other.
other.
Like when the sperm when the sperm finds
Transfer
its way
from the
to
man to the woman.
yeah, when the sperm finds its way to the egg, right? Then the egg would transfer that the egg would transfer itself into the embryo. The embryo would transform itself into the fetus. The fetus would transform itself into the newborn. The newborn would, transform itself into the infant, and then infant to the toddler, toddler to the youth to the teenager, and so on, right?
Yeah, it's transfer.
Transfer. You know what I'm saying? So people can't be destroyed or created either. They're already here. Just transfer the energy. Just transfer from one place to the next. That's it. And when people realize that we live on a beautiful flat plane, that it's nothing but energy. That's all it is. It's just nothing but energy. Nothing else.
Is that not the everlasting life that we're looking for right here?
I believe it is.
That's immortality, eh?
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that we can take with us is our memory. That's why we remember things. You feel me? And it's
Mm-hmm.
all about what we do about our memory banks. You feel me? So now if they can kill us and have us in the state of thinking that this is what we're supposed to operate as, and paying bills and paying this, that energy is just going to transfer. And we're going to come back and do the same things that we was doing. That's the same way we transfer our games down the way, we transfer freeze tag, all these other games down the way, because it's just was transferred down as we remember. You feel what I'm saying? So for us to evolve, we got to take the state of everything that they taught us as make believe as the shit that we can do. And then when we come back, when we come through, we can be the superheroes and the superheroes and all that shit. You feel what I'm saying? That's how you transfer that energy around. You feel what I'm saying? That's what I really believe because they put that in they got that they make us put that shit in a part of our brain that's make believe.
Right.
So we need to make believe. We need to make it believable. We need to make it known, not believe. Believe is to be sure
And
about it.
that
You feel me? So we more sure about shit. So we need to make that shit known as facts. And this is what we doing. I can move in it. That's why I be practicing that shit. Because I want to know that I can move the wind. I can move the trees. I can move every fucking thing with my thoughts. I can talk to y'all with my thoughts. I can communicate with my thoughts.
Yeah.
Communicate.
That's why I like that show. That's exactly why I like that show. Even though it's fictional, I think they made it fictional. They made this show fictional to let people think that it's make believe. But that's why I love that show, Full Metal Alchemist. Cause you see how it's almost like Avatar: The Last Airbender. How they were all alchemists, but how they were all alchemists, but they were only alchemists for a certain tribe. You had the Earth tribe who was only in earth alchemy. Then you had the water tribe who can only bend water. They can only use water alchemy. Then you got the wind tribe who was only wind. But then you had the the last airbender who was um he he was the alchemist master. He was able, what I'm saying, he was able to possess all the elements of alchemy. You know what I mean? But to me, the Full Metal Jacket is better. It's a better type because if you see this, if you see these, man, you just see how these people can just move big ass chunks of land with their mind, and how they can manipulate fire with their mind, how they can manipulate water and wind and lightning and storm and shit with their mind. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, they fictionalized it. They made it into an anime. Netflix does have a movie. It just came out. They do have a real movie on the Full Metal Alchemist, done by real people and stuff, over in Japan or whatever. But you see how they just fictionalize shit so we can just blow it off like, man, that ain't real. You know what I'm saying? But alchemy is real, man. You can manipulate if you become one. If your energy becomes one with the energy, or your frequency becomes one with the frequency that's outside of you, you know what I'm saying? You can do anything. You might be able to bend a tree. You might be able to you might be able to bend water. Like, you know what I'm saying, as far as manipulating water or whatever. It's still gonna lay flat once you drop the power. Just saying. I think I should I think I should rephrase that. You know. But
But you never know. Ended in November. You never
you
you
break.
never know what you can do. If you find what you almost of everything, everything go out the door. You know what I'm saying? That all possibilities are open now. That's what we have to realize, that all possibilities are open. If you can think in it, if you can see it, you can achieve it. If you can think it, you can fucking see it and make it happen. You just got to know about it. Like I asked, yeah, that's me, man. I asked you, like in school, right? They limit us. They teach us all how to think and what to think, right? Just like if we was special people, right? If we really had powers, and we went to a school, say like Xavier X, he would want to know what our abilities would be, and he would teach us how to enhance it and how to perfect it. See, we just think that we limit our abilities to things. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I think we really limit our abilities. Because if we know all these things, we should be able to try to achieve these things. You know what I'm saying? How to define the laws of gravity. How can I fucking get light enough to fucking, you just gotta fucking, man, this shit deep, man. I don't know. I be on some other shit anyways. Me personally, Huey, I be on a whole million other planets. Like, I fucking be somewhere else. I don't fucking be around here. I hate this fucking shit around here.
Right.
I want to fly around. I don't want to drive a car. I want to teleport. I want to be able to come meet you later on the night. Like, I want to be able to meet you in the mind. The meeting of a mind is a fucking powerful place. You don't even know. Like, I talk to myself. I talk to y'all brothers. Like, I fucking talk to myself. I can answer myself. And it's going to give me Bro Sanchez perspective. He going to fucking sound just like him. If I ask him a question, he's going to fucking tell me. I don't have to fucking talk to him through no telephone, because if they cut us right now, how are we going to communicate? If they cut our telephone, can we get telepathic? Can we teleport? If they cut off our television, can we still, you feel me right there?
Right.
Can we still tell our video? Can we still tell our video?
Who knows what we can do when we cut out the television?
Right.
Hey, look real quick, fam. I need to run up the store. I need to run up the street real quick. Hold it down for me. I'll be back in about 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah. You know, so we don't know what we can do when we get outside the box, because this the power of the box.
Yo, I'll be back,
fam.
fam.
This is in the box paradigm. You feel me?
because the box inside of a box inside of a box keep
while
us
I'm
trapped,
gone,
and they controlling everything inside the box. They able to push our buttons
y'all can hear
from
me. They
inside,
can't.
from
While
outside
I'm
of the
gone, I'm gonna
box,
hide my
and
panel.
control us inside of the
I'm gonna
box,
have my
just like
panel
a
and my
game
camera
console.
while I'm gone.
And they
But
controlling us
definitely the
like
panel in
avatars
case
through the shit
a
that
hacker
happen
try to
through our
jump in or
visuals.
whatever.
Like right now, they came
You know
on
what I'm
TV
saying? I'm
and
gonna
said
have
we
my
was gonna get
screen.
invaded by
So,
Martians on the East Coast.
and I'm gonna have my camera too in
We were
case my
going to
wife walks in
uproar.
while I'm
You feel
gone.
what I'm saying? The whole fucking, they cut off everybody's TVs.
Be right
And
back.
they said invaded by Martians or whatever. This shit would go fucking crazy. Y'all know that would go crazy. James.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, man, it'll go crazy. That's crazy. All the power they have, and I think it starts with all this shit, man. It starts with the globe. It starts with what we eat, and it starts with what they feeding us on the TV, cause that's part of the diet and shit. Like it's all that, and it's like I don't even know, bro. It got to the point, and like you was saying about how you can go in your own mind and find some answers. I was on a jog the other day, and I was literally talking to myself in my mind, like asking myself questions, and then the answers to my questions came from my. I felt like they came from a higher power, but it came from I literally asked myself a question, and I found the answer. Like I wasn't even thinking about the answer. The answer just popped in my head, and I was like, "Damn, I wanna play with this one. I wanna experiment with this more." But doing that too.
tried. I practice it. I actually practice moving the buttons. Actually practice pushing people's buttons and know how to move them. I actually know how to move a fucking human being, bro. I actually know how to do the shit, bro. It's all about the energy that you give, and you can feel if you ever been somewhere walking in somewhere and you can feel the eyes looking at you. You can feel somebody looking at you. You can just feel them
all the time
because their energy is directed to you. When somebody is talking to you, if they talking to you or looking at you, they know the vibration is coming straight to you. You feel me? It's all about a vibration and frequencies, bro. Feel me? I realized that like I was thinking myself, if I was blind and I had the little knocker and I was knocking, how advanced my thinking would be. Vibrations would be bouncing off the wall, bouncing off the tree, bouncing off the ground, I would hear fucking echoes and shit. I would just, you know what I'm saying? You would hear and see totally different because your ears become your eyes. You feel what I'm saying? Your ears and your smell and shit become vision.
It's crazy. My bad. No, it's crazy because JT had brought up the avatar, and on the avatar, it's a blind girl on there, and she's an earthbender. She's blind, but she feel all the vibrations through her feet. She don't never wear no shoes. Her feet got burnt one time by one of her people, but she feel all the vibrations. She know everything that's going on. So everybody looking, and it'll be like 50 miles, and she'll be like, "Everybody duck or everybody get out the way," because she can literally feel the presence of people and she can feel the vibrations of people because she's blind, but how she gets around is through vibration and sound.
And just like you said, she connected to her feet ain't with no shoes on, so she grounded. She grounded to the earth and everything that's moving within it. So like what I be doing, like me personally, every day, whatever my walk of life, I just my affirmations is I'm a reflection of the universe. The universe is a reflection of me. I am what I am. I'm the greatest thing I can be. You feel what I'm saying? I am everything. I'm the wind. I'm the trees. I'm the dirt. I'm the ground. I'm everything in front of me. I love being me. Nigga, I might see a motherfucker ride past me in the BMW. I'm thankful for being able to drive that car and being able to train that spirit in that body to be able to experience that. Because that's what God wanted to do. He wanted to be able to experience everything on this earth, on this plane that he created. You feel what I'm saying? He wanted to be able to do the highs and the lows. That's why I ask people, you can't take away the good and the bad. You can't say that he created, that the devil did it or the devil bad, because God created the devil too. So the devil has a place in the creation. You feel me? It's about
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Because I've been struggling with this. Because I don't know. Do you think that this earth is like, and I'm talking about like just your opinion down to your core. Do you think that this fucked up shit is supposed to be happening as like a cycle for the transformation or for the people or for the energy? Do you think it's supposed to be semi fucked up, or do you think that
we're supposed to be finding progress and balance, and stuff is supposed to
No,
be
I believe
peaceful.
this is what I believe. I believe that once everybody was mingling, right? We all know that we are gods in our own rights, right? But motherfuckers came together. Like the powers that be came together and wanted to control the masses because everybody was so peaceful and wanted to be in harmony, right? So the masses, which is the ones who controlling, that's the 1% who controlling. They created a way where we would have to pay. You know what I'm saying? And separate us from nature so we wouldn't know it. And they will create a paradigm about knowledge because we always knew it was about spirit and we knew knowledge, right? Knowledge is what we know. Knowledge know us. You feel me? When knowledge wouldn't be able to exist without us being able to, you feel what I'm talking about? So with that being said, they created a way where they can control what we was known. And they tricked us and made us know that we was human beings. They knew that they couldn't completely just hide the truth. I mean, take the truth away, right? They can just disguise the truth. Right? So they created a way to make it up. They created the poles. They created the up and down. They knew that it was as above, so below. So they already knew that it was a parallel world and that we was holographic beings and that how we came from the sky was our energy came down here and created all the way around the world. You feel what I'm saying? And that we wanted to be peaceful. So then they was like, shit, they wanted to control the energy. They wanted to be able to control this power because they was fucking obsessed with the power to be able to do everything, to fly. So they wanted to be able to limited us and make us have to pay for the knowledge to learn it. But when we attain it, they would have so many limits, and they would create a nation that have us limit ourselves, right? Because this is all school does. Ever since we was little, our parents even told us, don't you do that. Don't jump off that couch, boy. We thought we could fly. Thought we could do every fucking thing at a young age. You know what I'm saying? We think we could climb up the fucking all the way to the top of the tree. Why do we always think that we can do so much shit? And they always told us, no, don't do that. You can't do that. Or you will hurt yourself if you do that. Or this, that, and the third. When we fucking felt like, no, we're not gonna hurt. And kids, you might even see a kid right now and be like, and she might fall. And the only reason she fall and cry is because you said something. Other than that, the kid would get up and wipe himself off because he don't know hurt. He don't know pain. He don't know nothing of that. He just know that it's back on this plane right now with this knowledge that it just left with. You feel me? And they be trying to get back to it, but they limited us and we be like, the kids don't know shit. Them kids don't fucking know nothing. They just bad as fuck. But what it really they doing is rebelling against the world. And then we end up being back in the system, caught up doing the things of the world. And we live in of the world. That's why you say you're not supposed to live of the world. You're supposed to live in the world, but not of the world. We live in as the world is. You feel what I'm saying? Instead of living in the world and as nature is, because we would be living and walking with nature. You feel me? We would know when the wind would move. We would know when it's time to get cold. We would know when it's time for us to move and get different shelter and when it's going to rain. We would know. But we disconnected. I ask you this: how are they able to predict 7 days ahead of time? Right. What else is of weather? What else is they predicting? You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Or what else are they trying to predict? And what makes them think that they can?
Think about this here, and this is called preparation for our benefits. Yeah, they do that, but see if the people are controlling that, then they're not really looking out for us. Okay, you need to wear a raincoat because it's going to rain and thunderstorm. But if you got people that are actually manipulating that already, then they're just handing down the information to say, "Hey, tell these people they're going to be getting rain in the next couple of." You see what I'm saying? Or there might be a flood somewhere. There might be an earthquake. There's a chance of a tornado. But we believe that they have manipulated our weather at one point in time because of all the things that are out there. But we've seen what adds.
See, they manipulate the weather because they know that we can. See, they just still tap in. They like the powers to be. They tapped in. They got all the world fool thinking that we humans and we just walking around thinking this shit we going off of what they going off of. So they playing the part as God on this earth right now, and we don't know that we are. So we really praising up to them, waiting on the Savior that's gonna come save us, and it's never gonna fucking come. You feel me?
We are our own slaves.
I never understood the philosophy of waiting for somebody to come save you.
Right. Yeah. Or think about this. Think about this. When I'm not really a religious person. I grew up in religion, but I'm saying when they go seek and ye shall find. So seeking. Okay, if we're seeking truth, does people seek truth every day or not? That's a good question. You see what I'm saying? Because if they believe that everybody, I believe, honestly, and this is just a pure opinion of mine, that if you told somebody that the earth is flat, they honestly in their heart probably believe it, man. You see what I'm saying? But they will play the agent or the troll to be like, oh, you're crazy. You see what I'm saying? So the fact that even without research of it, they already know in their heart that this is what it is. You see what I'm saying? And there are people that actually know what it is and said, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna deceive anybody that even gets close to the truth. You see what I'm saying? So the people that even say that they have the truth, they will. Those are the evildoers are saying we're gonna distort the truth for people that even think of it won't know it. You see what I'm saying? Which we already know, like you said, with God. So we already know. There's nobody that can say we don't know it. There's nobody that can say we can't have the power. There's none of that because it's ours for the taking. Do you understand? Feel me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like going back to the games that I was saying, like hide and seek. Why don't we play hide and seek? And what is hiding that we're seeking? It's what's inside of us. We seeking something that they hid inside of us. You feel me? This is what we've been doing our whole life. We've been fucking playing peekaboo with ourselves. Nigga,
of our true identity. Of our true identity.
For our true identity, because when you get knowledge of self, then you know thyself. Once you know thyself, then you know who you are. Can't nobody condemn you or nothing. If God is the Alpha and Omega, right? Mm-hmm. We in agreement, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. If God is the Alpha and Omega, I can show you how you are the Alpha and Omega. Because your world started when you started. Guess when my world started? 1979, March 18th. You feel me? Guess when that bitch gonna end? When I die. When I pass through. The world that I know it in this physical form today will end. I'm the Alpha and Omega of that motherfucker. You can't tell me that I ain't. You can't tell me that one of y'all is the Alpha and Omega of my life. And when I fucking die, that y'all shit gonna keep on continuing. Y'all gonna keep on going. But that don't mean this shit ain't gonna stop when you going. Nigga, this shit gonna keep on going. We gonna keep on coming back to this motherfucker. We gonna keep on coming back. Keep on coming back. We ain't never gotta leave this motherfucker if we got our shit right, because they tricked us to thinking that we gotta die for everlasting life when we everlasting. These trees ain't goddamn gotta die. They die right during the weather. We gotta know that we dying every day, and death is just a blink, right? So if I'm blinking 1,000 times a day or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna die 1,000 times a day. Like, the fuck? It's just transferred. My kids, my young kids asked me, Dad, I'll be hearing you. They said, I feel you, Dad, but that's why I be understanding you, Dad, because how can we have a new day where every day we get up and do the same thing? It's the same times every day. It's the same. My little ones told me this.
Yeah. And that's how they think. You know?
That's how they think.
They think outside the box because they're not restricted until we put restrictions on them. You see
We
what
put
I'm saying?
restrictions to them. We put restrictions. I feel like with temptations, we put everything in front of them that we tell them that they can't do, and we put it right in front of them and just tell them that they can't do it. That's the same thing that they do to us and fucking condemn us for it. They give us that everybody got a car that got over 100 miles per hour on it, but how many of us can go 100 miles per hour without getting pulled over and going to jail?
Exactly, man. Come on. Does that not make the biggest sense in the world or nonsense in the world? Exactly.
As parents, check this out. As parents, when we force society onto our babies and take them out of that imaginative world of infinite, we are holding them down and we are shoving that plug into their brain.
You damn sure right. How many of y'all ever had imaginary friends when y'all was young?
I did it more Kodiak.
You know we did. They had names for them and everything.
And could see them and everything, bro. So we was talking to spirits and shit then, bro. God, we was crazy. Oh boy, you tripping. Because they so programmed in this design, they think that the little ones is dumb. But we really smarter than them because we coming in with the most information. You feel me?
As a little kid, man, I think I felt the most times I had repetitions of deja vu. As a grown adult, I barely even get it. You understand what I mean?
The older that we get, the dumber we get.
Yeah. Honestly,
I
man,
feel like
that intuition would just come into me, like fluently, like pouring water out of a cup. You know what I mean? Now it's like I'm trying to get a drop out that cup. You see what I'm saying? Because of the fact that what's been built around me and limited. Like this is what has been built around us. Just say if we knock down all the walls and buildings that were made, we got our flat earth. You know what I mean? Yeah, honest. You see what I'm saying? But we have been built. We don't we are building, but we're building in a confined system that built their, like you said, matrix around us beings or us gods, or you see what I'm saying? And said operate in this way, operate in this environment. You see what I'm saying?
How come infant and infinite both got that INF beginning?
Sir, seeing five. They go that five.
Right. I feel like the only most of the hope that we have is for the world is gonna have to come from America, and especially it's gonna have to come from the black community. And as far as like the flat Earth community, I notice a lot of men and y'all talk about y'all kids and stuff. I feel like that's where most of the real change gonna come in is when once we start getting our kids right. I don't have kids yet, but once we start getting our kids right, because we the only hope. Because I was on the internet looking at some shit, and they were saying how Putin he got elected again for Russian president or prime minister, whatever the hell you call it. And it was just as fucked up, as corrupted as America. I was looking at it. He basically boss hogged his way on some shit like when George Bush boss hogged his way in the office. He boss hogged his way in the office. And I'm like, damn, so they going through the same shit in Russia, probably even worse. And then I looked up some other shit and I seen in Asia how these kids is fucking starving and shit, bro. I almost started crying, bro, because I know my situation is okay. My situation is fucked up, but at least I get to still, do certain things. But they got these kids in Asia and Russia that nobody even thinking about, bro. Nobody thinking about these people, bro. They starving and shit. Everybody know about Africa. I'm gonna keep it real. Everybody know about Africa. That don't mean everybody doing something about it. But ain't nobody worrying about what, Asia and Russia. Not saying we gotta worry about that, but that's just putting the scope on it on how I'm gonna use the word global, how global this shit is.
I feel it's our responsibility to worry about it. Each and every one of us. We all should be fixing the problems that we see.
Definitely.
Right.
And you gotta
And this is
think.
what I say,
You gotta
right?
think.
I think we got to be cautious about that, right? I think we got to be more cautious about that because that goes back to what I was saying about the avatar thing, right? That's how they push our buttons, right? Because they only show us what they want to show us for a reason. They show us this shit for a reason, bro. You feel me? Because they know how we gonna act. They want that in our memory, God. They want that shit. Half this shit, bro, they could be acting all this shit out. All of it. They could be acting out the slavery. They could be acting out the fucking motherfuckers over there in Libya, telling these people we'll pay y'all to come out here and play these parts and these roles, put these parts, and niggas will do it.
But look, the thing about
Niggas
this.
will do it for that check.
But look, check this
They're
out.
telling you that you're gonna be in a movie or anything. Niggas already played slave parts in the movies,
But
so what
hey.
make you think this ain't extra footage out of goddamn a movie that they shot back?
But hey, check
Like
this out
anything,
though. When you think about Russia, but look though.
Fuckers push our buttons, John.
But look though, Huey, when you think about Russia, I'm back by the way. When you think about Russia, you gotta think. For the last time I checked on Russia, is not a. It's like they don't have freedom of speech. They all communism. So if you say anything against their government or against their higher officials, you gonna get jailed.
And this is where my questioning come in. How many of us have people, in these areas that we can actually ask these questions to, aside from, you know what I'm saying, aside from just what we hear. Same with North Korea. I'm for real, y'all. I don't think North Korea is a real place. I think they hire people to come in and pretend like they're North Koreans whenever they have tours.
I read something months ago about Australia wasn't a real place, and the people who think they're going to go to vacation to Australia, they're actually going to a remote island. Everybody who lives in Australia is in on it. So I got to think. I'm like, but I got a bunch of flat earth friends that live in Australia. Are you saying they're in on it too?
That sounds like straight bullshit.
You see what I'm saying?
Just
But it's not bullshit.
Because they said that Australia they had a genocide many centuries ago or something, and basically,
of course, So
Yeah.
did you know that there's still a very small group of people who can track their lineage back before the white folks came and started killing them?
I didn't know that.
But when I say it's a small amount of people, I swear it's 25 folks.
Damn. But 25 folks can rule over billions and millions of people if they draw that fear in them.
Well, yeah, but look, 25 folks is being their story is being, silenced by millions. Whoever is in power and whoever's for that system that's rose over there. The people, the Aboriginal people of Australia, the Aboriginal people of America, the Aboriginal people of South America, Aboriginal people of Africa, Aboriginal people all over this plane look the same, y'all.
Do they?
Yes, you're right, dude.
Bro, they look the same. Same beautiful red, dirt colored skin, same light brown curly hair, the same hazel eyes. It's there, brother. I promise that we all are the same, and they just have thrown in these people in these little areas to control the narrative and change the color of the populace in that area. They put, these people over here to rule these people, and it's all a game. It's chess pieces on a board.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they call the world a stage. On the stage, they don't call it a stage for nothing.
Fact. And that wouldn't be, if it was not true, that we wouldn't still be saying that Shakespearean bullshit today.
Exactly.
Right.
It is true, man. I had seen Fighter Vegan Warrior on that Tupac's hoax. Like, how did Tupac shoot two off-duty cops, not do a day in jail? How does Tupac get shot 5 times in New York, go to court the next day?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this whole world is a stage, man. Tupac's whole life was a lie. Everybody liked me.
Not just that. It's not it. The question is, how did Tupac get off for shooting two off-duty cops? The question should be, how did a black man get off for shooting two off-duty cops? And every police enforcement, he ain't getting really no death threats. Ain't nobody no crooked cops tried to take him out or anything.
That's why I call Tupac the greatest actor to ever live on the planet of Earth.
I love that.
He fooled me so good.
Ever since I was a kid, I'm telling y'all, I didn't feel it. I didn't vibe to it. I come from a different part of the country, though. I grew up on Player Fly, 3 6 Mafia and shit.
Okay.
So I never really grew up on,
same here.
Tupac.
Cause I'm from Clarksville. I'm from Clarksville, and all we did was listen to 3 6 Mafia, 8 Ball, MJG, Al Green, Elvis Presley. We listened to a bunch of. I don't think Al Green was in Tennessee.
Yeah, you show right. Yeah, old school and new school. But when I say I was listening to rap, I'm not listening to Snoop Frog and motherfucking Tupac. I ain't never vibe with that bullshit. I always felt they was actors.
Right.
What gave you that vibe though so early? How'd you know? What was it?
My parents teaching me to question everything and spanking my ass when I question everything.
Okay, well, tell me the difference between how did MJ and 8 Ball, MJG act different from the Tupac act? Is it because of what they were saying? How did
I feel as I get older, listen back on stuff, I feel like they was all actors. If they had any kind of career,
NWA and all that.
Yeah, I feel like it's all the folks. I like I say, as I look back and listen, I feel like any of the folks who had a career, they're actors. They're in on it. They got something. Whether they could, say that they were or don't realize that they were. I feel a lot of these folks are puppets.
I agree.
I don't
just
think
how it goes.
Like I think that A-Ball and MJG were they. I think they started out that way, but then when they really seen what the industry is about, I guess that's why you really don't hear much from them. If you think about it, you
as far as criminals, which is 8 Ball in them, this is what I feel about them. I feel that they were not initiates. They tried to get themselves in, and they even got involved with Puff Daddy. But they were not initiates. Therefore, they were never going to sell, platinum plaques. They were never going to get that push, even when they put their own money behind it. Even when they tried to go solo, they were not initiates. Therefore, they were not going to get that airtime. Regardless, even when they make bangers, even when they make real shit, it don't matter. You can make fake shit, fuck shit, or real shit. If you ain't got the right people backing you, you ain't gonna get nowhere.
Not shit doing my
Bro, anything
doing a lot showing
anything coming out of the West Coast, like anything by Hollywood coming out by Hollywood, I got to question anything coming from Hollywood, bro, because that's all that's all virtual reality.
You'll think, but they so street. Well, it don't matter that they may seem street and they may pretend to be street. You can learn those things as talk. There's acting. Ving Rhames, man. Look at Ving Rhames, the big dude from Pulp Fiction. That man never played a role like that before Pulp Fiction. He was a Shakespearean actor. Facts. Look it up. The man was taught to play that role. He's not hard.
Holiday Heart.
No, they
was snapping. Hey, look, I think we are all actors in our own right? Because we have to be acting in this life, acting like we don't know what's going on, right? Absolutely. We following these scripts, right? Because a lot of people go by scriptures. Scriptures is nothing but a script, and they playing the role. Playing the role is the same thing as acting. This is what actors play the role. So what they trying to make us do is play roles. That's what they got us doing. Operating as a TV show. Like right now they looking and shit. Like I know for a fact, bro, they be watching. I know they can commute. They listen to us through all kind of signals. They can look at us through the TVs. They can look at us literally through the. They can make the avatars operate and change shit right in front of your face. If you would pay attention more, you would see shit happening. You feel what I'm saying? But you got to know that shit happens from your mental state. I thought we was gonna your mental state can control everything in front of us. We accept our situations. We accept our fucking situations. Because if we was God, we could change our situation. We'd be like, damn, why if I was God, why I'm in this position? Because the decision that you made in life, the decision you just made to come back inside this house, if we want to get away from this shit and really go out in nature, really have faith to walk out of nature. If we was smart enough, right, and really wanted to meet up, guess what we got to do? All we got to do is go get a compass, right, and say at 12 o'clock on this day, we're going to all walk north. Every fucking body who's down with flat earth, walk fucking north, right? Where we going to walk to?
We're going to meet up at the same place.
We're going to walk to the fucking same place. We ain't got all we gotta do is put our back towards the motherfucking what is that the arrow shit that be in the sky. What the fuck is that? What constellation is that? The little fucking we have to use the skyline to fucking direct ourselves. All we gotta do is just operate right. We can move. Hey, goddamn, when the sun come up on the east in the morning, you move with it and walk west, and then you go walk north. You feel me? West gonna take you south, or east gonna take you north, whatever way it's gonna take you. But if we know that we on flat plane, we know that this shit operates around east and west is the only way that we can go around the planet, right? So if we follow the sun east and west, we going around the planet. But if we walk straight through and we gonna go north, we gonna go to the center of this motherfucker then. You know what I'm saying? So we should go out on faith. Let's get out on faith, get y'all some buggies and shit. Let's go and see what happens. And we gonna change the fucking world. We know that we God bodies on the flesh. We're gonna be able to talk to each other because the nature of shit gonna let us know. The wind gonna be able to take our signal and our vibrations to each other. You feel what I'm saying? That's how connected that we have to be and go out on faith, because that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. You feel me? If we know that we connected like that, you know what I'm saying? We always talking this facts and this, and we believe that, we do this, we believe that. What the fuck do we really know? What we gonna change? Let's walk to the motherfucking north. If we get to the water gonna crack open for us. Fuck we talking about? Because we gonna have our energies together and we gonna make that bitch crack open. It might not even be too much water. We might be able to keep walking. But this shit might be already dried up for us to walk across this bitch. What you talking about? Come on, y'all. Let's do something, man. I really want to do something because I be doing some major shit myself, bro. I don't know what y'all be doing, but me, myself, bro, man, I'm telling you, y'all, I don't know, man. I'm so tired of fucking these debates and these fucking shit. I want to fucking do something, man. I'm about to go crazy, bro. I'm gonna fuck around and shake everybody off this bitch. I don't fuck nobody on this bitch. If you ain't in compliance with the flat earth, if you around earth, I'm shaking you off this bitch. You feel me? We're gonna bring the heavens to this bitch. We're gonna raise the heavens. We're gonna raise the heavens to the hell down this bitch. Facts. They can't even fathom the thought of that shit. Motherfuckers can't even know that. They so scared of what these weapons gonna do to you, what they can do. Ain't no weapon can fuck with this nuclear bomb that we about to drop on their ass. We are nuclear walking atomic bomb weapons. Fuck, we are the cyborgs. We are the motherfuckers that they were showing us on Terminators. Why they scared of us? Why they operating so aggression when they deal with us? Because they fucking don't know if we done open up our thought processes yet. They don't fucking know. That's why they tell you don't move your hands, don't talk. Sir, don't move. Hey, stay still, sir. Because they don't know what you finna whip up on their ass. The hands quicker than you have the wind working with you. Had a tree smack the fuck out his ass. The roots come out the ground on his bitch ass. Anything, man, the nature gonna fuck with us. When we go back to nature, nature gonna fuck with us. If we fuck with nature, nature gonna fuck with us.
Gravity will grow towards it.
And that way it's me. We stop eating the animals will start respecting us, right? The animals can sense that we have them inside of us, right? That's why they be scared of us. They like, oh, these motherfuckers are killers. They got us all, they can smell it. They can smell it on our inside. They can smell their own spirits on our inside.
Absolutely.
So the motherfuckers be scared of us. And trees ain't scared of us because they ain't got enough of us and they ain't eating us. They ain't scared of us. They scared of us because we tear them down and build up and we trying to kill ourselves. They tricked us into killing ourselves. They slow killing ourselves because they want to still be here. So they tricked us into slow killing ourselves with this food, the vaccines, the process of mind of thinking that ourselves in, keeping us away from the natural light, from sunlight, keeping us away from air, the wind. That's why we scared of the cold. If we was out in the cold all our life, we wouldn't even know it was cold. Our body would adjust. That's how bones is able to expand in the weather all these years because they've been used to it. Their body been adapted. They know body know how to adapt to the cold and to the rain and to the snow and still fucking operate because they out there in this shit. We got a pistol. We can the sun the country. We need some heat. Where the wind ain't blowing. Fuck that. Put us in a box with my soul trap. I don't come back and do this again. When I die, put me back in another box. When I die, put me in the box. So when I come back, I know I left in the box and I came back in the box. I'm going to stay in the box. I'm going to sleep in the box. I'm going to talk on the box. I'm going to watch TV from the box. I'm going to learn all my information out this box. That's book shit that they giving us. We think that motherfuckers think they really smarter than us because they got a book. Guess what? I ain't seen a report card with my fucking name on it since I was in the 6th grade. And the teacher used to be like, why are you so smart and you don't want to do nothing? Because I know y'all fucking lying to me. Bitch, get out my face. I'll tell their ass quick, boy. My mama tell you, but I tell their ass quick. Bitch, get out my face. I don't want to hear that shit. I know how to add. I know how to fucking read. And I know how to get there. I know my own science. I don't need to know your history. I don't need to know none of that bullshit that you telling me. So you can keep that shit. That's how I was.
Huey.
Yeah.
Did you know that when we all go to school and they all told us that we all started out with A's? You understand that? When you first day of school, every class you already got 100%.
And you don't know shit.
Ain't that something?
You start off with 100, you don't know shit.
Yes, man. Damn, ain't that crazy? 100. Yeah, I'm a straight A student when I walk in. You know, it's when I start doing the work.
I've been this bitch. I would have been a straight A student all my life.
Oh my God, yes sir. You hear me? I would have been on honor roll every day. You know? Come on, man.
You would have been doing everything your mama told you. You would have been flying. You would have been moving objects. You would have been throwing shit, throwing fits. Because we be having throwing tantrums. That's what we do. We go into tantrum fits and shit. That's what we need to do. Throw a tantrum right now in the world.
But but when you do that as a little kid, that's when they start giving you pills because you got ADD or you got this and that. You know.
Shit.
Hey, can I share with y'all one of my theories?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, one of these theories that I had on on how we're being controlled is like, and this is my theory of, and I'll just call it a trilogy because it's operating with three things: the mind, and what you speak, and how you feel. So my theory is that how you feel is how we originally did it. How you feel inadvertently creates your reality because uh, how you feel affects the way that you think, right? And the way that you think affects the words you say. So what they've done to us and how they made everybody look at it is they made us look at it in reverse. So we looking at the TV and the radios and stuff like that, and that's how we get that's how we get our language. For one, they gave us the language, that's cool. But then they give us this language, so they control the conversation of they control the narrative of the world because we using the language that they gave to us, or we using the words that we're getting from the media and stuff, and that's the conversation. And thus, by using those words, we're affecting what we're thinking because we only limited to the narrative. We only limited to the conversation because that's what the hell going on 24 hours. The news, all this bullshit, that's going on 24 hours. So that's affecting what we're talking about. Then it's affecting our brains, and then that's affecting the way we feel. And once it gets down to the way we feel, that's where they win. That's where they win the battle because then the way we feeling is going to create our reality, and that's what's drawing everything to us. That's what's attracted everything to us. But if we can come together, or even as individuals, and try, and I haven't done this, I've been trying, but it's easier for me to say, it's harder for me to practice because I be trying this shit, man, and then some shit happen, and I get back on it, and I know it's part of my process of growing, but I know that it has to do with that feeling. And once I have that feeling that I want, it doesn't even have to be no words on it because these fucking words can't define this fucking English language can't define the way the Most High is the feelings that I'm getting. You know what I'm saying? This language can't determine that because once I try to put words on it, that's fucking up the way I feel. That once I say happy, well, I can have negative connotations towards happy. It's just a word, so it's the feeling, and then once you got that feeling, it's affecting what you think and how your mind is thinking, and it's affecting what you speak, and what you speaking into your reality. That's my trilogy of my theory of helping create your own reality. What y'all think about that?
I think you hit that shit right on the head, bro. I think you hit that shit right on the head because our feelings do determine. That's what I was talking about, the pushing buttons. So they make us feel a certain way because if we see something through the TV, it's gonna make us feel a certain way, right? If we see them right now just fucking pop up on the news, goddamn shot Farrakhan, any motherfucking thing, bro, it's gonna be a fucking feeling. That's how the feeling was when they did Martin Luther King because it's the feeling that make us react. So when they make us feel a certain way, they know that we gonna react, and they know that we act in the uproar because we angry, and they know that we are got suppressed anger in us because what they've been in us, and they know that we haven't lashed out in a minute. So they know that we building this energy up, and this energy can't go nowhere. This is what they fucking know because they study this shit. This is secret geometry. This is how they play tricks on our fucking ass and on our mind because we fucking sitting around believing what they putting on there and taking all this energy and so attached to this negative energy. And it's just a feeling. Just like this energy, we don't know that this light is putting out a feeling of a negative energy because it's not what's organic to us. You feel what I'm saying? So to put us a drain on us, it drains our natural energy bulb. You feel what I'm saying? Our natural energy generator is being drained by the light. The fucking leak on you, sucking up your energy. You feel what I'm saying? So they sucking out our energy, out our communities, and obtaining. This is how they able to rise and be above us so much because they got so much energy coming to them. Just think of how many motherfuckers go to operate in the system. How many people go to the school system, go to the work system, go to the system, got the system that they operate in, got the fucking credit, got the cards, got all of the system, taking the money system, we operating in this system that they give up. They program system, they put the TV. We don't fucking make the TV shows that's on the fucking TV. They do. They decide what we watch. You feel me? They know what the long game is, what to take off the TVs because niggas ain't watching that shit. They paying attention to this bullshit, live reality shit. We gonna make the reality look live to it because we want them to believe this shit. So now everybody running around in this fucking fucked up mentality because this is what they indoctrinated to us. They gave us boys in the hood. They gave us Minister Society. They gave us motherfucking all of this action that we have out here. They gave us this gang activity. They gave us the start to think this shit. You feel me? And put it in our reality. This is reality because we see real humans doing it, right? And then the shit that we can really do, they put that shit in the cartoon, so we like that shit make believe. I can't win big, but you can't tell my kids that they watch that my little son. You know how when I start wind bending, when I start moving energy, you like, Dad, you channeling your chi. You like, you a chi master too, Dad, because you always doing it. I see you be moving everything, Dad. My young son tell me this. I'm like, how the fuck you know about channeling chi? What the fuck you know about this? How you learn this? He said, Kung Fu Panda teach me, Dad. He told me the other day, my dad, I was doing Facebook Live, I was doing Facebook, and I was talking about my energy, how God is, how we all guys, or whatever we do. And my son, he 7 years old, he come in, he said, Dad, let me say something. I'm like, what you want to say? He said, I know how God is. God is under the sky, and He is in you. He is in me. He in my heart, and He is on the right side of my body, and the devil is on the left side of my body, and that's just the difference in them. They're one and the same because they're inside of me. I said, what the fuck?
Damn. Wow.
At 7, my nigga, I was like, what the fuck? Wow. So then I started thinking about it. I said, oh shit. He see it in the cartoons because if y'all think back in cartoons, they always showed us the good and bad angel on the cartoons, right?
Yeah.
Right? And when they showed us it, it was always in the image of if it was Snoopy that we was watching, the good and bad angel was Snoopy, and it was in his mind. So they let you know that it's inside of you, and they all on one side. This is what they telling you.
Check it out, fam. I'm getting ready to wrap this up. We've been going for about 3 hours though, I think. Let me see.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, we've been going about 4 hours now. We just hit the 4 hour mark. So yeah, So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. But I always open and close the show with a music video. I want y'all to go subscribe to my brother Ken Folk Jones. He definitely be spitting that hot fire or whatever. Y'all had to go to the watch page. Just go to the watch page to see the video. But we definitely I told him I would play his music on my show. You forgot to. But I tell him I would play his music on my show or whatever. So but I appreciate y'all coming to the panel. We had Huey, you know what I'm saying, do the roll call. We got Huey, James, Jess, Improve Ice Wall, Spike, and yours truly. In the chats, who we got in the chat? In the chat we had Wilson, Flamingo, Dojo Time, Origin 1, Midnight Gardner, Post Globe Awareness, Empress Ulu, Harsh Truth, Engineer. I think we had about 11 people watching today, so that's impressive. We got 15 likes. Thank y'all for the support, fam. It was somebody else up in here too. Brother Sanchez was here. Shout out to Brother Sanchez. Definitely go subscribe to him if y'all haven't. Spiritual Cow was here. Destruction by Design. Tom Rogers. I think, did I get everybody? I think I got everybody. Yeah, go that way, please. Astro Thief was here, and let me see. He was even on the panel.
Shalom, shalom.
So we definitely gonna. Who did? Oh shit! Who did just join the panel? Who did just join the panel?
Shalom, shalom. So I'm Isaiah Buddha.
Oh, Salon. Oh, bro, you came to the end of the show, man. You can always go back and watch the playback, though. You know, this is my final series. Yeah, this is my final series on law of conservation. My next show is gonna break down the origin of Easter, and we're gonna build on how the Son of God rose up on Easter because the Son of God always rises in the east. But anyways, that's another topic. I'll get on to that. I'll probably do that either tomorrow or the next day. You know what I'm saying? We can build on what Easter is, since Easter is coming up on Sunday.
Well, look, put a link. Send me the link to your channel so I can subscribe to it.
Oh yeah. I definitely can do that. Let me. I can put it in the chat real quick. Then put it in the chat real quick. I sure do appreciate the subscription too. But yeah, I'm going ahead and end the panel. Y'all can go to the watch page. I always close my shows out with music. There you go. I put my channel in the chat. There. What you go by the way?
I'm Isaiah.
Isaiah?
Isaiah.
Isaiah, got you. Okay. Yeah, Isaiah. So thank you for that. So yeah, go ahead and I'll put the link in the chat, in the description. Actually, I can put it here too. I can put it in the group chat or whatever. And then we go get your glasses. It's cool. All right. But as always, I appreciate everybody coming through. We definitely need to look through. We definitely need to re-examine all this stuff that they talk about, that they try to use to support the globe. Cause when you really look in depth to it, it doesn't support the globe at all. So I'm glad we went on 5 shows. We did 5 parts to build on this topic. I feel we made a statement. I feel that we got our point across on this one because they got 5 chances they got 5 shows to look through it to really, follow what we teach, But until then, fam, appreciate y'all coming out. Always be kind to each other, stay true to yourself, stay flat, keep it flat, class dismissed. Alright, so then let me do this. Let's see. I'm gonna give y'all some hot fire real quick.
Hey, this medicine the same thing? Is it?
Yeah.
Huh? One for
Yeah.
school and one
Hold on, baby, I'm live. But yeah. Here it is.
I can do this shit again today, man. Thank the Lord for it, though. First, let me get my head right. Alright. Let's get to it. Eyes open. Thank the Lord for the morning. Now it's time to hustle, smoke my breakfast, then I'm on it. Pack the pistol for protection, gotta keep it if you want it. Yeah, you're homie, but the money make it homie. You feed him from your table, better label him an opponent, cause he's watching what you eating, and the senses say he want it. The nigga catch you slipping, then you better know he on it. Damn, nigga, wasn't nothing but a donut. But the game is not your crumb. If they bring a little something, seen the nigga flip a chip. And he could that up from nothing. See, it's drop time, nigga. You don't know what you're smoking. See, these niggas sometimes get you in the hustle. What's the struggle? Traps jumping. Ain't nothing moving but the skrilla. Be careful how you hustle around niggas. This shit a kid. It's the sun up performance. The way we get it. This is trap life. Try to get this money right. Money right. Move right. Move right. Live right. Live right. Slip up, get you trouble. There go homie in the spotlight. But that ain't stopping nothing. Can't do nothing to keep the goods tight. Trap life. Trap life. Money right. It's kind of funny cause they heard that I'm a rap nigga. But on another talking greasy, he a trap nigga. A trap life. A nigga wasn't living right. Big Baby Reggie trying to make it triple overnight. Riding bikes, watching out for blue lights. Some wild niggas, man, shootouts and fist fights. We done it all. Went from selling weed to chocolate balls. All in the mall, talking dog to some sale wrong. Fell out, all fucked up, damn bad. Got taught a lesson, guess a nigga had to fall flat. But fuck that, watch a nigga fall back. Might take a while, but when I do what you gon' call that. Trash, ain't nothing moving but the skrilla. For how you hustle around niggas, this shit a kid. It's the sun up performance, the way we get it. This is trap life. Try to get this money right. And if you move right, then you live right. Live right. Slip up gives you trouble. There go homie in the spotlight. But that ain't stopping nothing. Can't do nothing to keep his goods tight. Trap life. Try to get this money right.
Hanging with killers, making move with them dealers, stashing money, get pillars, bringing up with the rooks, but ain't no changing in me. Truth let it be known. Keep on the block, I'm about to smoke up a zone. Soldiers march when I talk, hella style when I walk. Throw your bread in the air, private jet when I walk. Maniac on the track, little hatchet in black. I'm a G to the end, let me as a Mac. Socially when I'm speaking, got them speakers they tweet. Got it work for the mob, got them geekers that get it. Watch your back from these bitches, they only got for your bitch. Make it bars to the streets, yeah, they calling you snitches. Never mark on your color, never tell on your brother. This is real, not chill. Nigga raised in the gutter, this is life at its worst. We been stamped as a curse, 20 shots from a goon, 45 when it burst.
Traps jumping, ain't nothing moving but the skrilla. Be careful how you hustle. Is this shit a kid? It's the sun up performance, the way we get it. This is trap life. Try to get this money right. And if you move right, then you live right. Live right. Slip up gives you trouble. There go life, but that ain't stopping nothing. Can't do nothing to keep his goods tight. Trap life. Try to get this money right.
Got one more for you. I got one more for ya.
I'm so damn busy. My bezel's color Kool-Aid. I guess I'm fucking self-made. Got goonies with them McKays. All this shit in always. With your chick boy, I'm two-way. They like, yeah, she does it always. I got a bar and parlay. More gangsta stuff than rose. So right after his ass, I be on my phone going hard for a payday. Used to be broke, now my money coming four ways. Real estate, so paid. Feet up in that damn shade. All click, well made. Y'all just like we upgrade. Put a model chick getting brain on an E-way. You was looking poppy like you bought the blues from eBay. The cool yellow green like that motherfucker Green Bay. Serving all them junkies, dog fool, rich in one day. Never catch me broke, cause my pockets see that what she tell me. Yep. See them back, she tell me. Yep.
Hold on, I don't think this is my boy.
Jones, he the truth. All white, cool, but his paint tomato juice. Tell niggas, stay the fuck up out my mix. Wouldn't sell your ass a nick of this tight white shit. Yo, bitch said, yeah, when I showed that hoe a band. Then we popped a molly and she did it with no hands. I'm touchscreen Jones, the trap did long. Jones caked up, I could chill for a song. My water haze with the Cali got.
Sorry, fam. That is not my boy. I thought he came out with a new video. D, your snack on the table. Sorry, fam. I think I seen this one.
Stop hating. You must be scared I might take your place. I thought you was real, nigga. Now I see your face. I had to make a song, let you know I know you hate. Hey, why you play? We know you hate, boy. We real gators over here. We know you fake, boy. Hey, how many ass whoopers it take, boy, for you to get your mind right, play it straight, boy? As far as I can see, niggas slick hating on me. It's supposed to be as close can be. A lot of niggas don't see what this shit go deep. When you can get your shine on the street, wait no green, and you can tell your little ass on the best damn beat, or better than Kim Thieves. See if your chest won't beat. And it's just a mixtape. Wait till you hear the CD. Wait till you hear that born to the bricks, they straight up heat. Me and Shady got one coming, be straight up G. Me and Siri got one coming, watch how gutter that beat. Me and Freshy got one coming, gon' be straight BC. Boy, LHPEND, don't make so much cheese. What I think is me and you can ask T-Week. And I be all over these hoes, you can ask Lil Sleep. I gave the young niggas the game, you can ask TV. And I'ma always keep it gutter, you can ask DT. Hey, nigga, stop hating. You must be scared I might take your place. I thought you was breathing, now I see your face. I had to make a song, let you know I know you hate. Hey, why you play? We know you hate, boy. We real gators over here, we know you fake, boy. Hey, how many ass whoopers it take, boy, for you to get your mind right, play it straight, boy?
Thank y'all for coming. I
Shout
am
out to
out.
CPTV Media. Shout out my nigga LH.